If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hey, hello everyone. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, morning.
Hi Manu, good morning.
Didn't we start? All right. Hey, hello everyone. So I am Manu and I will be taking care of your training. Hope your training journey will be good. And I will try my best. Whatever your query, any question you have during the session, definitely do ask. So, we will go sequence wise. You might have seen the curriculum. But the curriculum, whatever we have topics defined and whatever the list it has been listed over there with some particular hours. So, but the sequence and could be hours may vary with respect to the content which we are going to take on. It's because interlinked to each other, few topics. So we will be covering all the topics. Not don't worry. But yeah, maybe sequencing will be different. Like not like let's say today we will focus on more of like introduction part of what Fiori and all about things, right? But from tomorrow onwards or from next session onwards, it like topic may come arrive with respect to what it needs to be, details explanation needed before we jump into different topics. So that sequence I will be taking care of. So no need to worry about the topics page, but yeah, sequencing may vary with respect to what you might have seen in the curriculum. Let's begin our journey. During the session, generally, if we are talking about any particular slide, or probably we will be, because I told you today we'll have more of theoretical interaction. But yes, I will try to interact you a few more features wise. But during the session, if you have some doubt, please keep it, and I will every few slides I will keep repeat. Do you have any question? You can ask at the same time, or you can raise your hands. And at the end also we will have an interactive session where you can probably ask the question whatever you have, and then we can go through one by one. All right. Okay, so let me start with I will share my screen, and if let me know if you guys can say that.
Yeah.
Everyone can say, right?
Yes, Manu,
Yeah,
it's
Manu.
visible.
Yeah.
Yes, Manu.
All right, great. Okay, so let's start with SAP Fiori. Okay, so what is SAP Fiori? Anyone can have any sort of definition, or anybody know, right? Few of you might have. In SAP world, SAP Fiori is very, I mean, common, right? From last, I think, 7 or 8 years. So what when you hear SAP Fiori, what does it mean basically? Any idea?
Yeah, I would say that it's an interface kind of programming wherein we have majorly two categories. One is the standard Fiori applications, which is rendered by SAP itself for the standard operations and all. And one part deals with the custom applications, wherein our role exactly comes, Manu. And the Fiori application comes in terms of different tiles, wherein we can, we have two portions. One is the front end and one is the back end. Front end is dealt with UI5 programming, and back end, yeah, of course, we can have OData services. And yeah.
All right. Okay. Pretty much good. But yeah. Okay. So what is SAP Fiori basically is like, it's a new, I will say user interface. Okay. Provided by SAP. And if you have seen the earlier SAP system, right? It nowadays also most of the system, few of the business folk, you might have seen the functional mess basically. They go through some transaction T code, right? Let's say I have something to do with the sales order. They used to execute some T code, and then they used to perform their task, right? So it means its machine has to be physically, I mean, software has to be installed, and a particular user has to go and log in, provide the T code, and then do lot many transaction, right? So it was, it's kind of lengthy process, I would say. It's not like user friendly too much, right? So what SAP has come up with, why not all these business transaction what is getting performed in SAP within SAP system, they introduce as a web application, right? So basically Fiori, SAP Fiori is your web application which is running in the browser. It has a very good user interactive, UI element. Basically what I mean to say UI elements is that like how the page which, like, let's say this is the browser, right? Let's say if you open Google, you open any e-commerce site, right? They everyone have some particular design of your application, how it's going to visualize, right? So SAP Fiori is the new paradigm of SAP to bring their own existing solution in the form of web application. So SAP Fiori has a lot of many other features that we will cover one by one and we will talk about. Okay. So this is the new user experience. As I told you, like it's in the form of SAP software, which is already pre-existed. Now it has been built as an exposed as a SAP Fiori application on the web browser, and user can access it on any device, or it could be. It doesn't need you to install a particular, software company. Let's say if you need to interact with the SAP, you need to have to install your SAP GUI and a different driver version on your SAP system. Then manually you have to it perform all these action, right? But in case of SAP Fiori, it doesn't work like that. If you have a particular URL of your application, you run it, be it any device, it can just going to, after of course a particular login and role authorization, of course, that we will talk about. If you have all these roles, authorization access has been provided, then you should be able to log in just by the URL. It will open a particular application and you be anywhere, you in the office or in the home or you are traveling. You make sure that your work is not getting restricted and you are able to perform all these required action what you need to do, right? So SAP Fiori has lots of business area, right? See, in basic terminology, if I talk about domain, right? Business domain. So what business domain we have, we can refer it for, like we have HR is a one domain, right? Like we have a sales is another domain, right? Let's say some different roles, like a person who works inside a plant having a different role, right? A person who monitor the plant having a different role, right? So SAP Fiori has been categorized based on the roles, basically. Okay. One particular application, a person A who is HR, right, might have a different role and authorization to perform some activity on a particular HR application. Similar way, a person B who also belongs to the HR domain, but he doesn't have all the authorization, which might be different from the person A. So person B cannot be actually going to perform some task the person A has done it. So it's very much secured or designed in such a way that it's going to support your one application with the multiple users, and it's getting handled by roles and authorization. Okay, so what is roles and authorization? Anyone can you define me? Like I believe you ABAP background, you have handled some objects in OData, right? I mean, probably in your backend development. So what is the major difference between roles and authorization? Anyone, just a short description? No answer? Okay, so I keep the session interactive in such a way that I will not be only person who will be talking, but sometimes few terminology. It's good if we can share and share your thoughts, and that we can basically share. Okay, so roles is basically a term which defines what you have the accessibility, right? Let's say if you have a rules has been given to access a n number of application, right? Authorization comes what you can perform on top of it, right? Let's say you have an application, you went inside, you opened the application. Now you cannot perform some action, right? Because you don't have authorization, right? Because a particular business transaction, probably your rules doesn't have that authorization attached. That's why you are maybe able to see only a display action, right? Could be like you can see the data, but you cannot modify it. You cannot do any changes like CRUD operation, which we talk about, like you cannot delete, update, and create anything on that business transaction what we have, right? But if a person B may have that authorization, then only they can perform some action on top of that part Fiori application. Okay, so this Fiori application is very much designed in terms of roles and authorization. That's very important feature uh, it has. Okay, so Fiori itself comes with a lot of as one of the participant has mentioned, right? I mean, sorry, I don't remember the name. Like Fiori, SAP has provided, first of all, the n number of pre-existing business solution in terms of Fiori apps. But let's say being in a TCS, right? Maybe one of your or business domain, uh, whatever the requirements you have, SAP solution is not able to provide, or it is provided but not meeting as per your expectation, right? So this is where customization comes in the picture. Okay, so any of Fiori application, which I think already SAP has in the number thousands of Fiori standard application, which is nothing but a particular existing transactional case of application that you can, if it's matching your requirement, you can directly configure in your landscape in your office system, and then you should be able to perform all the activity. But if let's say it's not matching your requirement, right, then SAP has given flexibility that you can either extend some Fiori application and then convert it or probably customize it as per your requirement, like, or you can build a scratch a custom application using the whatever SAP UI5 framework to develop a SAP Fiori. Okay, so see, SAP Fiori is actually a set of, I would say, a application which has been exposed as a web application. SAP UI5 is actually a framework on top of SAP Fiori has been built on. Okay, so never get confused. SAP Fiori is more of talk about design principle. SAP Fiori is more of a new user experience by the SAP provided by. It's a set of application which Fiori represents by SAP. Okay, but when you talk about SAP UI5, SAP UI5 is a framework on top of where SAP Fiori has been built on. Okay, so this is some terminology. Okay, so next, coming to next slide. You see, I have already mentioned here, like it's more of like role based application. We have different section. You can see that in the slide, like it's referring all the measures section of the business. And if you see manufacturing, we have supply chain, R&D, right, human research or finance. So take it any name, any business which is running by any organization, SAP has the solution already. Okay, so SAP has always a major area which was covering is manufacturing area, right? If you have seen any big manufacturing company, they have their very good an SAP system in-house built. Okay, but apart from that, SAP has a lot of any different areas he has expanded, and for every area SAP has released thousands of many application which can be used as a standard apps that you can take use of in your organization. Or if you want to customize, then you can customize and you can use it anywhere. Okay, now, okay, what is the Fiori stands for? Somebody may ask you. Very simple. It's like a flower. Basically, if you have seen the logo of Fiori, it comes as a flower structure, right? It will come somewhere in the slide. So that's the region. So Fiori is means to be a flower, is kind of just the information, nothing else. Okay. All right. So for till now, I think we have just talked about a very basic, or I would say just the introduction part of what is Fiori. Before I move to another slide, any question anyone has, just ask me. So I told every 2-3 slides I will be taking the pause. If any question, just ask me. Let's keep it interactive session. Like, I will not be only talking about, just try to interact. Okay, so during interaction, sometimes like when we are talking about, we may miss something. So if you are talking, interacting, I may get something information to a more to share you. So keep it interactive. Any question you have, any guys, you can ask me.
Yeah, Manu. I mean, basically, this is not a question. There are a few points to add on. Just correct me if I'm not correct on that.
No
So I
problem.
would say that the Fiori entirely, I mean, if we talk about a Fiori consultant or a Fiori associate all in together, so it involves Fiori Launchpad configuration, UI5 front-end interface programming, and on back-end we have this OData services. So
Right.
basically, a Fiori consultant works very in close proximity with the security team as well, who deals with the roles and authorizations for that particular application, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
this is one point which I wanted to, and on Fiori standard Fiori applications, you talked about extending a Fiori applications. So just understand it like that. The way we enhance any standard transaction on the backend, I mean on the SAP GUI, any standard transactions, we enhance it for the customization perspective. So the similar way here on the Fiori applications, whatever we have as a standard portion, so if we want to customize a portion of it, so we call it as an extending the standard applications, right?
Right. Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, so as I told you, we will be talking about today is more of the introduction part. So yeah, you rightly said, but those are the points which will be coming up next, maybe in the next session. Okay, yeah. So since you have highlighted, so yes, so Fiori has been designed in having a different design principle, right? We will talk about. So yes, SAP UI5 is a framework on which Fiori has been developed, right? So a Fiori UI developer or Fiori developer is mostly is going to interact with SAP UI5 framework, whether it has their different languages, like they have to interact with, JavaScript is going to be main language to write your controller logic. Then you have a view file, XML file, where you have to write your, how your layout is going to be look like. So I will be, of course, discussing all these parts, like when UI5 comes in the picture, what when backend team comes to what backend team generally handles, and what security teams will handle. So these things will coming up. No, don't worry. We will be taking all these parts in very details discussion. So today we are high level. We are focusing just on the introduction part. So yeah, it's good. You know already few things. Yeah, very good. And yes, SAP Fiori application, whatever we SAP provide, we can extend. Basically, we can either to create an extension project. When you have a lot of customization, then you go and create a directly extension project, or you have also, if you have seen web id or bash, right, they have there's something called, you can directly extend your existing Fiori application with some form of buttons. You add some here and there, and you add some table column, right? So that is not a purely extension project, but you are extending the existing application, right? So such kind of course you can perform. We will be talking about definitely in details, right? And coming to your next topic was the security guy. Yeah, of course, security is the one person who will be basically going to take care of all your, whatever we have done a launchpad configuration for the application. The application will be accessible only when a particular role has been assigned to a business user, and of course a auditor service authorization has to be also added back, right? So yes, so we will be covering all in details, but yeah, I think it's fine as of now. Any other question, guys? Okay, great. All right. So I have mentioned here, like earlier also I told you just a brief introduction about, like, SAP Fiori actually provides different set of business roles, right? HR person can have a different role, but the person who is working in a plant or manufacturing plant having a different role. So we have a set of different n number of roles segregation, which every roles is actually going to assign to a particular user, and the application catalog whatever we maintain for Fiori apps, then that role gives the accessibility to the user to access that application. All right, so these roles categorize has been done with respect to all the business domain, and then it has been segregated. So SAP provides roles also, right? Look, like if you have a standard Fiori services, or sorry, Fiori application available, to SAP Fiori provides whatever the technical information behind, like it can provide you what catalog it refers, it provides you what business it's what are the basically the groups it involves, what is the technical role it involves, so that when you configure your application in your SAP system, it should be having all the required information. But SAP also gives you the flexibility that you can create your own rules, means your own custom rules. What I mean to say that, like, you can use a standard application, but you can create a custom rule, you can create a custom catalog, you can create a custom group, right? I will come back to all this group, a catalog rules, how we configure your Fiori application on Launchpad. We will talk about in detail, so no, don't worry about that. Right now I'm just using the terminology. So these SAP standard application, you can directly either use existing roles, but generally if it comes to any kind of organization, it's not that advisable, you can directly use the roles of existing SAP, because a particular role of SAP is actually segregated in various areas, right? So it might not suit yours business requirement to use your particular business roles has been given by SAP. Rather, you create a custom one and add only those roles authorization mapping which is required for your organization to be do that, right? So SAP generally, when they release some product or any technical configuration, they consider by entire customer cycle. It's not like a particular to TCS, a particular to IBM or Infosys or somewhere, right? It consider the entire customer cycle, what can be the possibility with respect to various organizations. So they keep everything at one place so that everyone can use it, but not every organization will be able to use that as flexible as SAP has designed it. Okay, so it's SAP also has given open suggestion that you can have your own role, custom role, and all this assignment can be done, and roles and the users can be segregated based on the rules and authorization. Okay, so yeah, so Fiori apps, if you have seen that, right, the interface, basically, if you have seen the how it looks and feels, right, like you can see, if you have seen the Fiori Launchpad, right, it has every application comes as a tiles wise. Okay, that tiles having a name, could be have some kind of logo. It depends on, we have a different tiles also. We will talk about that as well later. So these, we have few types of tiles, right, which you might have seen a static tiles, you have a newsfeed tiles, you have a analytical tiles. Okay, so you can see and various tiles design which comes there based on your what application you have been enabled or designed or developed, and what is the business need. Okay, and every tile is actually bound to a particular rule. And every Fiori application we have seen there generally is in, if you talk about a particular Fiori standard application, you might have seen the very seamless experience, right? It means the user interface, what you see in the first page, it's almost similar. I would say it's not almost, it's completely similar. Means a user is going to see what is the list page of application. So every list page of application of various different domain of Fiori apps is going to be similar. It's going to similar, seems like a filter bar is there on the top. They will see there a personalization icon is there. They can see the table in the below. They can see the footer. They can see the icon. So basically the design of Fiori application is going to be almost similar what they used to see for different application as well. So one particular domain, one particular type of application. So we have different types of templates also available. Like I said, list report, right? So all the list report apps of different business domains will, the basically layout design is going to be the same, similar type. But if you talk about analytical have again a different set of template or a layout design, but it will be same again across domain. Similar way, it can have a overview page design. It will be again same for different business domain. So type of your Fiori templates is going to be the same across various domain. It's not going to change until your template is same. So SAP has maintained that design, something called Fiori design principle. I will show you how what I mean by Fiori design guidelines, what I mean by these templates. We'll definitely will talk about in this session today as well. So SAP has whatever design has been defined has been followed up across the SAP standard. And nowadays S4, if any developer you are working on S4 CDS, and if you have annotation structure, right? So CDS is actually meant to be for that. So you can use, you might have seen very simple and template has been provided by SAP, which is called SAP Fiori elements, which is largely used nowadays because of S4 CDS, right? So the template of SAP Fiori elements, it generates the similar layout design for your Fiori application. So the look and feel wise, a user is always going to have a similar experience. So that gives you no complexity. Like if you have trained a particular business user for a Fiori application, pretty much he can able to manage and handle, the different set of domain be it. But if type of application are same, they can easily go and understand what this layout design and how they can perform their task, be it for HR team or a manufacturing team. If they are going to interact with the list report application, for them the list report application content of the business application might be different, but the way had they handle it, the way they have to perform their task, that information will remain same. Like the button position, right? If you select a particular row, what will happen, right? If you select a row, if you have to navigate to the object page or detail page, how it's going to look like, the different section, it's going to be the similar. So a particular user will never going to see any much difference. You don't have to train the user ki, hey, this is the business domain for HR application. You get trained on your manufacturing section or any manager role. You have to train it differently. No, if it's belongs to the same category of apps, you actually don't need to train them. So it's also save a lot of time by the organization to train their user to perform their task. So this is the seamless experience has been provided by across all the users for different applications. Now this is very interesting part of SAP has done. Okay, like responsiveness, right? You know what I mean by responsiveness. Okay, Fiori application is has been built on a framework which SAP UI5. Okay, and all the controls which SAP has developed and designed is responsive. Okay, see a few. I'm not sure if any of you can define what is exactly responsive means. So okay, so I will just tell you. I mean, few of my previous session where I used to ask this question. So they used to say like I mean very so you decrease this. Okay, decrease this width of the browser and change the browser and all this thing, it will change. So actually this is not exact or the correct way of checking the responsiveness. Okay, responsiveness, it doesn't comes with only with the browser width. No, browser width will shrink your display. It doesn't it's not make it responsive. It like if you reduce it, it will become shorter. But this page, what you see right now, it will be still the same. It will still same the same page. Okay, so that is not responsiveness. So when you play around with the browser screen, no, that's not responsive. Stands for like, it's, let's say the best example is devices. So a person can have a big monitor screen, so your Fiori application should fit in that big screen with that proportion of your visibility of your controls. Like if you have a big monitor screen, then your text, what you are written here and whatever button has been written, it has to be enlarged accordingly. If you are opening the same application in your laptop, right, it has to again become responsive, basically readjust themselves in such a way that it should not look like got shrink, rather it adjusts to your screen width of your laptop or to the tablet, or if you open in your mobile phone. So it is going to readjust their own framework space with respect to the UI layout. So it's not going to reduce any content of your text. Let's say in monitor screen it was very large to see, and let's say it's become blur. Sometimes you have a screen be very big, so the text or button, it become blurred. Why? Because the large screen is not got adjusted. It doesn't happen with Fiori. Or let's say if you have used in mobile, So what happened in if you use in mobile, it's going to shrink a lot, right? If it's not responsive, it will shrink. It basically, let's say if something written here smart, right? So it will be like shrink, it will be like this, it will be a smart. No. So in mobile it will be like a smart and fonts will come down. Okay, so it will be the layout of your structure, basically of Fiori application, is going to adopt themselves with respect to the screen space has been provided by the screen resolution. Okay, so this is one of the best feature which SAP has bring in Fiori application. It's a responsive application, and I think at that time of point when Fiori came in 2013, right? So responsiveness was one of the biggest selling point for SAP for Fiori world. Okay, being in a web application, because web application was getting dominated by uh, other frameworks, like if you talk about JS side, right? JS Fiori, sorry, HTML5, JavaScript was there at that time, like different version of JS. Other libraries we had like Vue.js, we had Angular was starting, but not at that point. Then we have React and all. So whatever you might have seen, the web browser based application was not that great responsive. But when SAP has bring up this Fiori, it was responsive much. So but only restriction was it was in SAP domain. But nowadays SAP, you might have seen, if you might heard about, if you have SAP UI5, similarly we have a now Open UI5. Okay, so Open UI5 is open for like different other worlds. Like if they want to build their application, they can use the Open UI5 controls, which is almost 80% same to SAP UI5. Why I'm saying 80%? Because yes, few of the controls which is actually controlled and designed and monitoring by SAP team, that is the paid version that cannot be basically will make available, to outside the SAP domain. So that's the reason. But yeah, it's pretty much controls. You will find the same exactly what you have Open UI5. So SAP UI5 and Open UI5 is not only used in SAP Fiori development, but rather it has been used nowadays as a normal browser-based application. It doesn't need to have OData service. It doesn't need to have CDS to be consumed. You can develop a Fiori application, or I would not say Fiori application, using OpenUI5 framework or normal, web application with the help of OpenUI5 outside the SAP system. It could be your Java services, could be your Node.js services, it could be anything. Okay, so this is something has been done by SAP, which is very good feature. Okay, responsiveness. Okay, and I will show you a few of the examples. What does it mean by responsiveness? I will talk about that. So any chance if you guys have gone through like SAP SDK, and any one of you? Okay, so mark this point. This is something called SAP UI5 SDK. You will find, a lot of information about, what is SAP UI5 means and all this information. And here you will find some of the demo apps. Okay, so what I was talking about, I can actually show you. Like for example, let's say you have a shopping cart application, or I will say your managed Fiori application. Okay, so you have some pre-built Fiori apps given by your SAP, which you will see here that application are already available and running up. Okay, so this is not actually a standard business application. It's a like a demo apps. Okay, that demo apps doesn't need, you need to basically going to perform your business transaction. Rather, it's going to perform some kind of just an overview how this application gonna looks like. Okay, just let me see different application. Okay, looks like some issue with that application. Let me check others. Okay, meanwhile, any question you guys have, just let me know. Okay, so this is one of the application you see. This is a very old template, I would say. Like this is generally having a list of information available. But nowadays, if you see the Fiori elements which having something different look and feel, so it's always a good one. But yeah, like it's like a list and details application where you see, if you expand, if you click on any of the application list wise, it will show you right hand side the details of your particular business object which you have clicked here. So this information, this is also very interactive and very useful kind of application you see here. If you can see the seamless design, right? Every work item, if you click it's going to content going to be changed, and whatever layout design might have designed here, if you similar type of application if you open, their design will be going to same, until unless you are not extending, you are not modifying and customizing, the basic design principle will remain same across the Fiori application. Okay, so let's say this is one of the example. Let's say if I am going to okay, so this is my mobile mode. Okay, you see this is how it's gonna look. It's responsive, right? See here, if I am going to remove it, this is how it is your kind of looks like, right? You have see a screen, big width, right? How it display, you see this, let's say tablet or laptop, this is how it's going to take. But the moment if I'm putting back to this, see now the appearance has different now. Okay, you got my point. So this is how the SAP has designed. So it's not aligned completely, but it's gone vertical design. Okay, so if you run in the big monitor, so or a laptop or any bigger screen, it's generally convert back to horizontal. But if you move to mobile device, it's generally designed for just vertical design. So you will see all the information, no doubt, but you will have always this kind of vertical design by not losing any content information by shrinking. Rather, it's going to actually display all the information as it is, but in a different view. Okay, like a vertical design. I just talk about like that. Okay, yeah. So this is the meaning of your responsiveness, which we have talked about. Okay, right. Any question so far on this? We can talk about.
Yeah, Manu. The demo which you have shown to us right now, so it looks like this is the kind of, the older look and feel which we used to have maybe, 7 to 8 years back.
Yeah.
Do we have any demo which is like in sync with the current look and feel in the tabular form which we have?
Okay, that's what I was. Okay, 1 minute. Let me try. Uh, let's-
I mean, that header in details, yeah, of course, on the sale order, and then, corresponding correspondence address and all for shipping and those addresses. We used to have it, if I'm not, I'm
yeah,
able
yeah,
to
right,
recollect
right, right.
correctly,
Yes,
it is
yes.
7 to 8 years back.
Yeah, right, right. So this is one of the example I was trying to show you. This is the latest design, right? Uh, mm, okay, manage product. Let me see.
I mean,
So,
basically,
right.
it must be in a tabular form wherein we can, put up more of buttons and
Yes, on the top,
more
right.
interactive pages and all. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So this is one of the application which I was trying, but somehow this is something looks
Okay.
like down.
Okay.
Okay, this is you see the Fiori application basically like that, which is on you see this is SAP Fiori elements. Yes, I was okay. Let me see if you have. Okay, so this is not exactly Fiori elements, but
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
see this is a tabular example, but this is not a Fiori okay, Fiori list. Sorry, a Fiori elements. So Fiori elements having a little bit different design, right? Uh, we will have, okay, don't worry. So today's session we more
Yeah.
of our introduction part. Okay, we have.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
will.
this is for
Yes.
every one of us, how this looks like, in the current scenario.
Yeah. So
So this is the page,
like
how it looks like, right?
yes. So I mean, yeah, this table, what you see, table you will come any of your list screen. You see, we have a different variety of layout. Okay, we have
Mhm.
something called list report, right, which you generally see table structure, and on the top right now, okay, this is the icon bar has given to sort out your data, right? But
Right.
in a current Fiori elements design, you actually have a filter bar. Okay, here all that on the
Mm.
top it will come as a filter bar. So that filter bar will going to interact with your table, like you can filter it and all these things. There's something called user personalization. Okay, so we will have a very detailed discussion in SAP UI5 development, like when I will start with your scratch development, how you can start with that. Okay, how you can design or develop a Fiori elements application if you have a serious OData service, or you can build your custom application as per Fiori design guideline. You can develop it. But yeah, this is one of the template. This is mostly, I think, a free style template where you can. Yeah, anyone is talking something?
Yeah, I think Atharv has some questions, right, Atharv?
Yeah, tell me.
No, sorry.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Okay, I think sort and filter is they are the more primary I would say features onto the current layout, right? The sort feature and the filter feature.
Yes. So this is here you will see here, right? These I told you this is not a standard template. This is a custom design template. On top of it, like you can design and define your own sorting and all. But generally, in case of when you go to Fiori elements templates or any new template which has SAP has given, right? Every column has their own feature called sorting, sort you ascending, descending, even you can uh, you can filter out some particular column only with respect to some data. Okay, so right now I think that Fiori elements application which I wanted to show you is down. Okay, this is actually
Okay,
down,
no
but
problem.
don't worry, we will have that discussion when we are developing your application. Or okay, see, this is another types of application which is basically going to rendered as a chart. Okay, so we have a lot of different chart which you can see, like you have bar chart, we have pie chart, right? We have any kind of tabular form of chart. So these all comes under analytical apps there. Right now this chat also you can actually incorporate in your custom application. So this app itself is like chart demo app. Okay, so the chart is actually a control name, okay, which defines a lot of chart available, and that chart you can either include in your extension of your standard Fiori application, or when you build a Fiori standard to custom application, that you can also include additionally if you want to bring your chart feature. Okay, but there is another application type of template provided by SAP Fiori, which is called analytical application, or you can business smart application, where you will see a lot of information. By default, it's actually built up that designed at in terms of chart itself, right? Your filter, your data display, your visualization more of comes into a form of chart. Okay, so that type of template in itself SAP has now given in terms of SAP Fiori elements to build up your such application as a something called SAP Smart Business App. Okay, so those things. So no worries, I will also show you, but example. That example currently I think is not working right now for Fiori elements, but no worry. I will definitely will show. Okay, but I can show you one thing definitely here. I will show you how exactly it's which I am talking about. It's going to look like. Okay, so smart table. So if you see here, it will show you just a basic introduction under here. You can see. So this is how this is a actual Fiori elements application. So you see every application will come up with this Fiori a standard application or any template which you see right now, which is built on S4, basically the CDS model data modeling. So you will be seeing these templates. Okay, so you will have on the top from here to here, whatever you see is actually your filter bar. Okay, which you annotate your own metadata structure to bring this filter. Right now I can even select here, right, n number of whatever field you have actually implemented in your table, all of them can be a part of your filter actually. Okay, this is the something called default filter that you can show and hide also. That's not a problem, that property comes. So I will discussing everything in very details. I'm just giving you right now. So this is the actual new design pattern, where on the top you will have a filter bar. On the bottom, like if you remove this data and if you mention here something like 2015, right, so it will bring your data with respect to 2015, right? If there is no data, there will be no information available. So it's very much work with your filter bar. If there is no filter has been set, there will be no data display in the beginning. So if it's mandatory, then in your design you can pass this mandatory value at the time of loading your application itself. It will be filled and bring it. If it's not, then this page will be, this content will be blank, only this part will be visible. If you please on go, then it will bring out the data, right? So these are the information which whatever you see here. Like if you select any record, right, there could be some button will be enabled, some button can be disabled, some kind of feature can be, you know, token, right? If you click or right click in your column, you see this is what I was talking about. It has an option to sort, right? You can sort by some value, or sort by some information, anything you want to sort. Let's say you want to filter out, so you can pass on filter by what value you want to filter, right? Calendar year, something, anything. So just apply, it will be apply the filter. Similar way, like column wise you want to filter, right, or something. So there are a lot of features. So when you are interacting it, you will be keep seeing whatever. So every column have their own feature. You can ascending, descending, you can perform anything, and it's all independent for each other. Let's say I'm filtering here, right, for this particular data. So whatever data is coming here, so though it applied on this, but it will bring out the data for this uh, particular filter, whatever, I mean, ascending, descending you have done. So make sure all the data also going to be adjusted by this filter, right? Otherwise it will be wrong, right? You cannot generally filter or disturb this data. Let's say this 2014 doesn't belongs to this is wrong. So this is very interactive design where you apply any column, any information, ascending, descending, your data will be going to adjust accordingly. Like I see here I have done some ascending, here I have done some ascending, descending, but the data has not, data has changed with respect to whatever has been set to the particular columns. Okay, so these are the very good feature. And other than that, we have another feature called view setting dialog,
Yeah,
where
Manu.
you can,
Sorry, Manu.
yeah, tell me.
So for every columns, we need to set these
No, no,
sortings. I mean,
actually, huh. Mm,
I
actually,
mean,
this uh,
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
okay. So basically, this template, what when we design a Fiori elements, right? So see, Fiori elements is basically uh, controls what they use called a smart controls. Okay, what you see here is
Mhm.
a smart table, a smart filter bar. Okay, so they are
Right,
very smart enough to actually, why it's called a smart, you know why? Because see, this thing you don't have to code it. Okay, this thing you don't
right,
have to
right.
code for every column. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because this control itself has been designed to interact with your metadata. So in your metadata, if any property is linked to customer, then this smart control will automatically bring out this feature here. Key, whatever you are going to apply on this customer property. Okay, there will be
Mm-hmm.
a name property, whatever you have mentioned, it will be like, of course you will be defining, right, sort by and sort by whatever the property has been listed out in your metadata. It will actually going to interpret that information, and it is going to, you bring that option here. So you don't have to actually code for everyone. No, is you don't have to, you whatever property you have maintained there, right, the OData metadata, it will read out and it will bring this feature automatically here. Okay, now that is come template wise. But if somebody is developing from a scratch, okay, so they just have to pass their this property information, like sort by customer or sort by name. They have to just pass in the property filter in the view side, right? Because it's, they are generating by a custom way. So that's it. So they have to just define the property. It's the same way, like in data metadata also you define property, right? So same thing, custom development also you have to just modify, pass on the property, like you can, you want to sort by this name or you want to filter by this property. So you have to just pass that value. That's it. Okay, so
Property means column. We are talking property on column,
yeah,
right?
property,
Yeah.
yes, yes, like customer, what the property name which actually brings this information, right, on which property you want to basically filter out. So you can, it could be a customer ID, it could be your
Mm-hmm.
customer name. So whatever you are maintaining it, it will be applicable, this option will be applicable on that particular automatically. Okay, so you don't need to worry
Okay.
about. So this is another feature called, something view setting dialog. Okay, so this view setting dialog, if you see this, right, you see this every column having their independent, right, Now if you want to apply entirely on all the tables, then this view setting dialog comes up. Okay, so every column you want to select which column you want to see, which column you don't want to see. You can select, deselect. You can actually filter out not only one by one. Actually you can filter out multiple, like let's say, like you see you have selected, let's say, customer by descending. I have selected calendar by ascending. Okay, and then I can sort by count by again different format. Okay, so I see descending, ascending, descending. So any combination you apply, it's going to apply in across application. This is the very good feature, because trust me, handling this in the custom side is very difficult. Okay, because custom side generally you apply one sorting filter parameter. If any of you might have seen the JavaScript or any, how you manage, or be it ABAP also, right? So how you handle this sorting, filtering. Generally you pass one information, right, and then you filter out and you sort it out. But imagine the criteria, like you have ascending, descending, ascending, ascending. One property having ascending, second you have descending, another ascending. So n number of ascending, descending, criteria you might have. It will work very seamless. So actually for this all feature, you are not actually doing any additional coding in your backend or any front end. If you are using a particular Fiori elements template, basically it's actually going to handle by this smart control Fiori elements itself in the application side, because it's actually rendering all the information by reading their OData metadata structure what has been defined. Okay, so these all multiple scenario of sorting, filtering, everything is actually going to taken care by all of them at a time. Okay, so this is very good feature actually. Okay, so you don't have, anyone doesn't have to code anything for that. So these all are inbuilt feature which actually powered by your S4HANA CDS data modeling, and that is going to expose OData service, whatever annotation structure. It's going to do all the information what you want to do. If also have an inbuilt capability of exporting, like you can export your data in the form of whatever you have seen, whatever information has been downloaded. So it will come here, right? Or it can also give you name, like see right now default is line items, right? I can tell that something like a smart table demo, right? So I can save it and something like that. Okay, so it will give me the file name, see, smart table demo. So this is very good thing. Yeah, I mean you don't have to explicitly code for this. These are the inbuilt feature. This is what I told you here. If you see here, these are not a Fiori element. These are the actual, of course, UI5 best Fiori apps only, but as per the new design what the SAP has given for S4HANA series data modeling, this is actually a common design principle right now, which we use with a smart table, a smart filter, a smart form, all these things coming here, right? So this is very useful actually, and it's actually save a lot of time by any backend or custom UI5 development. If you are using a particular, these are actually a pure SAP UI5 Fiori apps, not specific to any particular template. Like I mean you have all the controls here, you can customize, you can put here filter, you can put anything. Like this is a more of like custom design kind of Fiori apps. Okay, and this is more of like standard Fiori elements template design wise. Okay, so this is all about, I mean the one more feature we call here variant management. Okay, variant management, what does it mean by that? Anybody what is variant management? Any idea?
Is it something like we save any test variant on SAP GUI?
That's right. Very good. Yes. I mean, it works like that. So you what you would say, let's say today you have login with your name, and today you are interacting with, okay, for me, I just want company code and fiscal, this is my filter parameter. I don't want the information. Okay. Okay. I might need calendar year, but I don't want. Okay. So this got set now. Okay. For you. So from next time when you are coming up, your variant will have these information. Or let's say you want to, this is the filter variant, and this is something already a variant which is called let's say here in this variant I want to, let's say you can call any name. Okay, you can save as me, it will give you the option. Okay, test or something. Okay, so next time when you are coming up, it will be showing you those fields only which you want to see. Let's say I want to see here this information only, nothing else, right? So whenever you are saving your information, right, so next time when you are coming up to the page, it will be actually displaying you that information. Let's say if I want to save as me, I will also mention here test filter, right? So this is called your variant. So basically it's actually saving your information in the terms of variant. So not every time you have to come and adjust until you actually want to modify some more information, and then so basically this variant management helps a particular user to apply their own the way you want to visualize your screen, right? Like for me, this could be different filter parameter, right? For you could be a different parameter, right? As per your roles and authorization, you may have to perform different action. So you want to only see those information, right? And for me, it could be different. So what I will do for every application, I will for every user can set their own variants, okay, in the same application. So now how it works and how technical is getting handled, we will discuss in details maybe in the next session. I mean, in upcoming session. So we will be talking about all these things very details. Don't worry, we will have a UI5 session, right? We already have in our curriculum. So we are going to discuss about how we can develop your Fiori application, how you can deploy, you can configure, how mapping getting done, how you are handling all this information. So will be, there are a lot of controls, like what is how you can use a smart controls, how you can use various component or layout design, right? There you see whatever page here, right? This page is something called different page. Okay, this is the different page we have. See, you see this page is different layout. Okay, and what you see here, this is a different page layout. So we will talk about how you want to show your application in when it's run in the application browser or any device. So we will talk about in details. So I hope right now this basic introduction of this Fiori apps is, I think it was good. So far we are good. Any question right now? Any one of you? Any question? Then otherwise we will move ahead.
No.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So next, what we have, how Fiori was born. Basically, it is more of like you if you have SAP. Okay, I see generally if you have some kind of SAP, you might have seen, right? And so basically every user used to go and they used to perform something, right? Any admission activity, right? Any logistic information, any accounting, human resource. So everyone used to come here, log into the SAP system. So okay, right now at least you are seeing S4 one, right? So S4 is still having some good visibility of, I think the way it's present. It's still a good user friendly designed by S4 system, right? But if you go to ECC system, have you been in ECC system? Any one of you? I hope, being your background, you might have interacted with your legacy system, or which is ACC. So you might have seen, right, the design of any transaction. If I was going to perform, it was very I would say complex, I would say, right? Like every information was very linked to each other, and you have to go various transaction steps, you expand and all this, perform all this, right? So it was, see, for me as a user, like just think here, right? If I have something to interact with such information, right? What I need here, I need this information to be okay. So let's say in the product entity, oh sorry, whatever T code we go and execute that by functional, I want to I want to manage some products with respect to some information, like what is the plenty, what is the shortage, what is the out of stock, right? So definitely for these information to fetch, right? Generally, SAP folks has to use to do multiple, T code transaction, and then they used to get these information, right? So instead of that, now see, I'm having all the information at one place, right? So why not, let's say I have whatever that functionality is present in my SAP system has been built and exposed by an OData service. Of course, you might have retained, I mean, the background. the backend team has written some business logic, how you can fetch the data and combine it into a data service, and data service whatever filter you need. Because if I'm clicking here, basically I'm filtering out the data, right? So this filtering out can be done at the time of when I'm calling the data service, or when I'm clicking it, that at that time also I will just fill some filter and I can fetch the data, right? So for me as a business user, what I need only this information, right? So why I have to do a lot of transaction, T code execute and expand all this SAP GUI screen and then see all this data, right? It's very clunky, right? Kind of things. So now what a business user need, they have in their place. So it's for me as a user, I'm satisfied. This is my information what I need, right? So my work, which used to take me half an hour to get all this data, what is plenty status, how many numbers we have, shortage kya, it used to take some time, right? But now it's a few minutes of job, right? Okay, I got this 11 counts of data, shortage 3 and this. Now I know what action I have to take, whatever stock I have, no products is there. Okay, so whatever shortage I have, so I have listed out and I have placed the order. You see, I have placed the order. If the shortage has been done, I can remove it. If plenty is there, if anything I analyze, I will perform. So my work, my job, the whatever business user is performing has been simplified, right? So this is where actually it has been born, right? This is where SAP Fiori has given a user interface to interact with the business application with very easy steps and making it very seamless experience, basically. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we have talked about the rules and all this thing, right? For example, typical, right? You might have, I mean, TCS or you also have one time sheet, right? I think they are using SAP application, right? I believe. So if you see, there's a standard application called My Timesheet, okay, which is actually used by a lot of organizations. So My Timesheet is what is the app where you have to go and apply your leave, okay, and whatever is the leave has been done by employee is actually going to. So for you, My Timesheet app ka access and rules will be different. For the manager will be different. So manager, it will come something like this, okay, something like this. So for manager, if we launch the application, they will see uh, pending, yeah, or pending leave approvals. Here you can maybe some different filter like leave approved, okay, you can see leave approved, or here pending, or here rejected, right? Leave rejected, leave pending, and leave approved, something like that, okay. So for the manager roles, information visibility will be different, and for you or as an employee, when you are applying for leave, that visibility will be different, okay. So this kind of managing of your screen roles, authorization, it's very easy to manage in Fiori apps with respect to whatever action is going to perform by various user, being it a same application. You don't have to actually build one application for the employee, one application for the manager, one application for HR. No, if it's coming on the same domain, you can actually manage this by the rules and authorization. That's it, okay. All right, so this is talking about the GUI, right? SAP GUI, having more than 300,000 in the screen, right? Of course, I told you, right? Let's say I'm to perform some, I need to get these information. Of course, I have to go a lot of screen, right? I have to perform some T code, execute some parameter, and then perform something, and then get the information back, right? So it is not so much good enough, to interact with the user and provide the information very short. Okay, so it has a lot of here and there are steps to be performed and then get the information. So that's the reason SAP GUI was a kind of very lengthy process to be performed by any application to fetch the data, right? This is where SAP has decided to bring something, because if you early 2010 uh, web application was on the getting more of getting powerful day by day, right? And this is where SAP was struggling with how they can provide their business user a better performance. Because see, SAP, if you have seen, right, if you take any SAP domain, you actually have to design, you have to install the software hardware. Actually, basically, you have to, in your company also, your server you have to install now. Okay, then you have to someone has to manage it. Okay, then there will be a technician has to be available. Then a functional or a business user has to be trained. You have to remember a lot of T code, right? Even if you or a backend, right, developer, you you use still, right, a lot of T code to fetch some table data, right? So similar way, a business user or functional, basically, they used to perform a lot of T code. They have to hard and remember, right, a business user to perform all this. So business user doesn't want that, right? What business user, what is the main criteria of business user? Being a business user, what I want, what is my things to do, right? I want to, let's say, I want to perform some action on my data. I just want that data to be available for me. I will just perform my task and I will complete that, right? For that time, what it was taking in SAP system was actually very lengthy. So this is where SAP has come up with this solution. And 2013 was the first when it got launched, and 2015 onwards it was on the market. It was going up, and still now we started with SAP Fiori version 1, and we have now SAP Fiori version 3. We are almost going to launch by SAP Fiori version 4, and there are a lot of innovation has happened in SAP Fiori side. You see their new template, CDS has came to the picture with SAP S4, and it is making of Fiori apps actually are more powerful. It's not only in SAP domain, but out of the SAP as well. It actually very good and famous in as a web application development side. Okay, so SAP Fiori has come a very long way. I would say it's almost 10 years now, and it has a good grasp in SP, at least in SAP world. It has a very good grasping. So if you are, be it from ABAP background or be it from say Fiori UI5 background, it's good if you know, because for a Fiori UI5 developer it could be a little bit difficult to learn ABAP. But for a ABAPer, if, at least for Fiori element side, if you know CDS and annotation, at least you can able to design and develop Fiori elements based application. But yes, to customize, to develop custom, and to enhance your SAP application what you are developing with CDS, for that you should have a knowledge on SAP UI5 framework, which actually nothing but a combination of 5 language. Okay, it has your XML, it has JavaScript. These two are prominent language. We have HTML5, which is very much a small usage, but yeah, it is still there, but not, I told you, very less, 10%, I would say. It's just a indication, that's it. Okay, because HTML file, just index file will just make it a web application. Okay, that's it. It has jQuery libraries. Okay, then it has a very different other language to support, like Ajax. It has to handle different API calls. And so basically, if you want to go and deep dive into development of Fiori application, so one way is that you either handle it by CDS design, annotation design. You can develop a list report application, or any application which is actually just going to expose some data. This is where you may not have to put a lot of effort from UI5 side, but the moment it is going to customize your application, like even you have developed a Fiori elements template. So generally a Fiori elements template application will come up with this, right, which I have shown you, this design, right? But as per the requirement, it will come this much only, right? But as per your requirement, you may have to customize a little bit, like put some different number of buttons you might have to do. If I'm selecting this, this button has to be show and hide. Okay, what button has to come if I'm clicking here, if I'm clicking some button here, it may has to throw some validation error. It has to go and remove this data, or update some data, delete some data. So those action, when you're performing it, that needs your knowledge on UI5 framework, or and prominently I told you, it needs your JavaScript language understanding. So just a quick question, any one of you, how many of you know JavaScript? Because JavaScript is your core runtime language for Fiori UI5 development. So anyone having little bit any idea on JavaScript as well? Anybody?
Excellent.
Yes, I have idea on JavaScript.
Very good. So how good, I mean, what I mean to say is that just for respect to, I mean, all the basic terminology of JavaScript, or just a basic understanding?
Yeah, all basic understanding.
Okay. Good. I mean, at least it will help you definitely when we're doing the session, because when we are taking a UI5 session, we will be having UI5 controls, because JavaScript will be one language which is actually going to used in your controller side, like some action to perform, right? If I'm talking about like
Yeah.
how if I'm clicking here, what has to be done, right? So this has to be handled in
Yes.
JavaScript language. Okay. So for UI5, if I'm being honest on your Fiori UI5 development, if you have a core JavaScript understanding, it's good. It doesn't need your JS oops knowledge, but JS oops knowledge, if you have, then it's great. Actually, it's really great. It's not only help you in JavaScript in UI5 Fiori development, rather it's going to help you in different framework of JavaScript to you can work easily. Okay, but yeah, as we mentioned, if you know basic will actually help you to analyze, you need to may be able to understand the coding, right? Okay, this is what the variable has been used, how the for loop has been used here, how this method is executing. That will be basic understanding. But a core understanding, what I want to say is that key, how you can define your variable, how you can use it, how you can think the logic to implement on certain things, right? How you can validate your JavaScript code when you are writing to write some functionality, how you are going to use in your OData call, basically, right? You have a OData service, right? Basically, which we use to make a call to make a service available to your controller service in Fiori UI5. So this interaction is very important, right? So for that purpose, I would, if you are thinking you can, you have to learn Fiori UI5, then don't ignore UI5 language needs here. Okay, so the UI5 language needs is very much basic things that you need to understand. Is first thing is UI5 Fiori, that is having a language dependency with JavaScript. So JavaScript, I will encourage all of you to definitely start from today itself. Go to you have a various. I mean, you can start from W3 school also. That's great. I'm not saying. I mean, for a beginner, I would say it's a great place to learn JavaScript or any language you want to learn. Okay, so it will give you information about how to write the syntax, comma, what is the variable, right? What is the operator, what is the assignment. So first have this basic understanding, like how you can write the loop, how you can write the if else comparison, all these things, right? It helps you. Okay, then it has a JS oops and all these things, that JS classes you can ignore right now. Okay, all these things, bomb dom, this thing we don't need. Bomb dom we use in particular web apps application development with HTML5. Okay, so what we need is we need this part. Okay, this first part, where you can how to use these various type of methods, differentiation, and for example, you have a loop. What are the methods we have in array, right? All these things you can merge. So I will actually I'm telling you to start this also parallelly, because without JavaScript understanding, trust me, it's very hard you to learn SAP UI5. I may give you the training, okay, I may give you the explanation, all this thing, right? But anybody, I mean, if any language, if you are not practicing or understanding by yourself, it will be very difficult for you to go through any particular framework. Let's say any Fiori UI5 developer purely, right? They want to learn something about, they may get some ABAP training or from anywhere, but if they don't understanding what is ABAP basic fundamentals, like how we can declare the variable, what does it mean by loop and syntax and validation, all these things. So at least core, or like we have a core ABAP, right? Similar, we have core JS, core Java, right? So core, what does it mean? Core means the basic understanding how it works, right? And then we have advanced version, something oops concept. So that is you can leave it in JS. For UI5 Fiori at least is not much required, but core is very much required. So parallelly, please start your JS journey. I will hardly recommend you, all of you. So there are some great tutorials also available, but I feel if you are starting from the beginning, this is something you can start with the W3 school. There is one more website which I will give you, but this is very detailed explanation which you need to actually give a good time, then only you should be able to understand that. Okay, so just mark this part as well. You need to learn JavaScript parallelly, else it will be difficult for you to get into SAP UI5 understanding of how actually in the behind code is working. Okay, so that let's say tomorrow if you something comes up in Fiori UI5 development, you should be able to take it up. Okay, not only for CDS annotation which is generating the report, but rather you can customize or develop from the scratch as well. Okay, right. Okay, so these are the terminology we use here. Like Fiori is we talk about like is nothing but a user experience platform. App means of course is basically Fiori is referring to a set of application. Okay, page stands for what I told you here, like something. Page is nothing but layout, right? What you see basically. If you see here web, which is the web page, right? How you visualize your application is nothing but your page, or you can I can re-simplify it as a layout. What you see, tile is nothing but the how your application is going to appear on a launchpad. So launchpad is, you know, like if you see this, right, you see this is something which is tile here, right? Every tile represents one application here. Okay, so this is how Fiori apps will be actually going to be present in your launchpad, and every launchpad you have such application available which a user can click and actually perform all these accessibility and all the information. So this is how it's gonna look like. So tiles is actually a kind of entry point of your application. But yeah, some places you might see the definition of a launchpad key entry point of Fiori app. Yes, Fiori apps entry point is launchpad, but inside the application you have to go through the tile is nothing but your app reference. Okay, launchpad AC I mentioned, central location of all the Fiori apps details. But let's say you are eligible to access 100 of applications. All the 100 application, you don't have 100 URLs, rather you have one URL of launchpad. So basically you will be getting this launchpad. Okay, so you will see this is the one of the URL which will be shared to you. This URL is a launchpad URL which hosts all n number of application which you are actually assigned to it. So the role is basically actually going to applicable on your launchpad Fiori apps. Okay, workspace is again see, this is again a concept of launchpad. Like I will show, this is not a particular actually a typical launchpad. I will show you exactly how the, because launchpad has some more feature user wise. So some feature you can see here, like we have app finder here, right? So basically this workspace means like you have 100 application to restore, right? What is your uh, basically needs of your, you know, business actually, right? So you can rearrange your application here. You can do some edit your home page, right? You want to add some group, you want to add some, modify some group, you want to remove some application, you want to drag and drop some different application. So those things you can perform here. Okay, so that is something called you workforce management of your apps. So app finder is something which you here see. This is also, you can do one more thing, appearance. You know how you want to see your Fiori apps, right? Like what are the theme you want to use? Okay, so right now, okay, so right now the theme which we generally use is this one, Quartz actually. You see, Quartz, dark, CB. Okay, and right now whatever we have display setting you can do, or you can actually perform any kind of application like Belage Plus, right? You can apply anything here. Okay, and then you can choose whatever you want to choose it here. And then it's right now what is getting utilized here, SAP Morning Horizon, right? So Morning Horizon is one thing which is actually getting applicable here, but whatever you see the theme, right, is actually because of this. Okay, so anyway, of course this is the actually a part of your I mean a standard here, so I'm not able to change it. But you, when you have your own application which is running up, you have this control that you can select. Okay, you can select particular theme, and actually it's going to change your look and feel of your Fiori application. So workspace, or you can say launchpad workspace, is nothing but referring to the customization as per yours. So this is only applicable for you, not for everyone. Okay, so that is one thing. App finder is actually is the one place where actually give you the information about your application catalogs. You see, this is the catalog. Okay, so what is catalog refers here is, catalog refers a set of application which it has. Okay, one catalog can have n number of application. Okay, And so these all catalog, whenever you do app finder, the app finder is actually not finding you a particular app, rather it is finding you the catalog of application, and under that catalog it will display you how many apps for this application catalog has. It can have a 3, there would be another catalog which can have another 5 application. Okay, so that kind of catalog, whatever the you can say segregation happens based under SAP, app finder. So app finder will be helpful some very much time, but if you want to searching a particular catalog, I told you, right, it's refer the set of application, and a catalog actually a part of your group. So a group can have n number of catalog, and a catalog can have n number of application. Okay, so app to catalog and catalog to group, this is the mapping. Okay, we will talk about in details when we are going performing you this application configuration on Fiori Launchpad. I will talk about this how it works in case of these few catalog, groups, tiles mapping, these all things I will be taking care of. So no worries. I'm just right now what we are discussing morely today is more of introduction part. So tomorrow if we are using any terminology, hope you should not be getting confused. So that's the idea behind the introduction session. Okay, so again, a target mapping is again being a technical word here. So when we are actually modifying any doing any configurations, okay, application, in that configuration of Fiori application, what it needs some kind of mapping, right? So target mapping, what we see, it's more of like how you are going to and configure your Fiori apps, okay, to your make it available in your Fiori Launchpad, right? So target mapping refers to various semantic objects. You have application reference information, what other URL, any semantic action you have to perform. So those things comes under your target mapping, right? So we'll talk about this thing part here also. Again, technical catalog, I told you, right? Technical catalog is nothing but the catalog which refers the it's actually a container of your application Fiori apps, right? So let's say in a technical catalog I need to put few Fiori apps, few web SAP GUI apps, right? Or WebInPro anyway, you guys know, right? This is the very old technology by SAP. This is still there. Why is it still there? Because uh, SAP legacy system has a lot of application which is WebInPro. Okay, after WebInPro, it has introduced SAP GUI. SAP GUI is like HTML version of your T code. Right? Let's say you are executing some kind of T code based application. In that scenario, it is going to launch in your HTML. Okay, that scenario. Then you have a technical role, right? So technical role, again, it is going to be assigned to your catalog. Okay, so basically when you are configuring your app, so app is going to be target map with your semantic object, which I will talk about, and that target mapping actually is going to be done inside your catalog. Catalog can have a number of application, and that catalog is going to assign to a particular role. PFCG role is actually a T code here, PFCG, which is referring to, which generally getting created by a security team. This is where security team comes into the picture. They create a custom Fiori role, and then that role is going to assign to a particular catalog. Okay, and then you have this assignment to catalog, and then group also will come into the picture, and then that role is also going to attach to a business user. So the role actually going to assign to 3 objects: one to the business user, same role to the catalog, and the same role to the groups. Okay, and this mapping, how it works: so app inside the catalog, and inside the group you have a catalog. So this mapping is going the complete roles accessibility cycle, I would say. And this is where when a user launch the application, it will load the first the group having a catalog, and catalog having the application. A user if having the rules, it will be going to see the application. Okay, again a business see you I will show you a business catalog is again referring to the set of catalogs is available to a particular rules, which is mostly is configured, and each terminology has been given by SAP mostly for your standard Fiori application. By the way, have you ever heard or have you ever seen Fiori apps library? Any one of you?
Yes, Manu.
Yeah. Okay, good. So this is one of the Fiori app. Okay, so this is the place where you actually going to find out all the standard application. If you see here, this refers all apps means like every like application irrespective of your ECC, S4, whatever you have, this all goes there and it will be making it available. Okay, then you have segregated for S4 HANA. Then we have for S4 HANA Cloud. Okay, same thing like purely for HANA Business Suite. So these are the category of you already categorized and filtered, so you can basically go to, this is the cloud version, right? So you don't have to go and search here, you search here, right? If you have only for purely as for HANA, here all apps, here the only for Fiori apps. All apps means it has your WebInfo, it has your Fiori, it has your SAP GUI, it has everything. Okay, but if you are searching this, it has only Fiori apps, which is Fiori Analytical apps, Fiori List Report app, Fiori dashboard apps, or something like that. Okay, so these all things comes into the picture, and it will be going to be present for that. Okay, similar way like Fiori also business, SAP Business Suite. Okay, SAP Business Suite is something which is referring to again a particular type of application, which is a smart business application, which is analytical apps, right? So something like that. So these are the different filter out already has been given. You based on selection, you will be going to see that application. So let's say again, see here they again having a filter out by different lines of business, lines of industry, right, by roles and all these things. So if I have some kind of these are all the information for human resource having these many application, right, procurement having these many application, right, have finance, human resource. So this will actually ease out your search criteria. Like by roles also it has, like these are the standard roles with whatever, let it load. These are the standard roles. Okay, whatever SAP BCBR, all these app, whatever information you see in the bottom, right, this is the name, actually this is the code of your roles. So these are actually the roles have been provided by SAP itself. Okay, so see, one role having a 54 apps associated with. So if you are using a standard, right, role by SAP, then there is a possibility that SAP might have the role which has been given to you is actually linked to many other application which is 54, let's say, like, but for you your need is to only see the 5 application, right? But it is giving you accessibility to 54 application. Okay, that's the reason, we see that key why it's happening, why we need custom like roles information. This is the place you can actually see why you need that need of custom roles here, and so that you can control that roles and authorization part. Otherwise it will be a quite sometimes difficult to manage this large number of accessibility. But some of them, see, for this particular having only one role, only one app, it's okay, you can use that in that case, right? But those roles which is mapped to multiple apps, standard I'm talking about in perspective to that, it will be hard to manage. That's why SAP also recommend, if you don't have such large application content to provide the accessibility to the user, then you have your own custom rule and you can do that. All right. Okay, so backend product also it is mentioned, right? What are the S4HANA version you are using it, right? S4HANA management project and all these things. So it has again segregated. So I would suggest if you are deep diving into Fiori apps, so this is where one of the again another place you look into, and this is the place where actually you can come explore. What are the types of Fiori apps you have? What are the information is available? For example, I will tell you one of this. Let's say any example. Let's say, okay, manage sales order, right? So let's see. Okay, so I have mentioned here manage, let's say sales order, right? Version 1, version 2. Okay, one more thing you will mention here. You will see a lot of application having with version. Okay, so this version stands for like the older version, which could be part of your previous S4 HANA version. It could be a part of your maybe your ECC system. It could be a part of a previous any version, but version 2 is more of compile, compile to be flexible with the latest release of your S4 HANA. or it could be compatible with your S4HANA cloud. So if you see here, right, if you expand this, you will see the number of version, what this version supports, like S4HANA 22 version, 22.1 version, 2000. So these are the version for available for version 2, right? If you don't have this kind of version management for managed sales order, then you will see there will be definitely one kind of different application which will be available, which will be performing the same managed sales order with the older version. So here is the place where you have to come here and look out what are the information and available here. So you will definitely find out many of, so but just for example I'm talking about here. So this is the place you can see the look and feel here. Okay, see here, this is one of the application type. Also you can see what is mentioned here. If you see here, it is mentioned transactional SAP Fiori elements. Okay, so it's SAP Fiori elements of transactional type. Okay, so I will talk about, right, types of what are the types of Fiori application. Basically we have a session tomorrow on this more in details topic to cover on the types of application, and we will start with our deep diving into in technical details as well. So this is the types of transactional or Fiori elements. So you will see also what is the visibility, like how this sales order actually looks like, going to be layout wise. You see this top version is different, lot of buttons we have, right? So this feature wise you can actually see what this application actually bring out. Okay, so that will also help you to take a decision, okay, this is actually meeting your business needs or not. So this is a typical your Fiori elements design. All right, okay, this is the typical Fiori design we have right now. And in that scenario you will be able to see what you can see here exactly available application, what you have, n number of different available. You see here look and feel. You see, if you go to the next section, you will see here you will have a filter bar, right? But in the previous, you see how it's came here. It's because the visualization that you can set here on the whatever top you see, right, information available in the filter, you can have the control with the visibility. You can manage information what you need to see on your header side, right? So you could be a filter, you can remove or show and hide. So there are various button you can perform the action, and you can actually adjust your visibility information now. So this is about your visibility and introduction of your app. It will always provide, and then it will provide you what are the technical information here. So this is very important section here whenever you interact. Okay, so whenever you interact with any of your application, these are the application which you will see here. This is has, right, it has a note, what are the SAP note reference we have, right? What are the backend release information it has provided. So these are the note, right? I hope you guys know about SAP note, right? You might have maybe implemented in your some of your business application development in Fiori UI, sorry, I mean in a even a website also, right? You have to modify some standard OData services or backend logic. You have to follow some note, right? So I hope you guys are remember the SAP note, right?
Yes.
Good. So
Yes.
SAP note is another one of the good help, I would say, provided by SAP to provide the technical information or any resolution. I would say it could be a configuration resolution, it could be a technical resolution, right? So basically, say let's say some issue has came to some product. Okay, what is SAP note here? Basically, I will do just brief introduction. So SAP note has come to the picture when a user or organization, let's say, or any business user has raised some issue in the standard application. Okay, so now this issue has been gone to SAP. Okay, SAP support team to the product, and now they are finding out what is the root cause and they provide the solution. So whatever issue has been reported, and if it has been resolved and solution has been provided, is actually logged as a SAP note. So this SAP note is actually referred to some of the issue which some of the user earlier might have provided, or any organization, could be business user, or during some critical testing it might have been found during after go live or after or using the product. Okay, in that scenario it might have been used. So for all this situation, SAP what it does, it actually get all this information of the resolution, and they release it as a SAP note number, so that if you are actually facing some issue, then you can go and refer this particular SAP note and you can provide. So SAP note also refer to any particular release information, right? So not only about issue and logs what has been reported earlier and has been logged off, I mean provided by as a log as SAP note, but also it releases some SAP note to respective product if any upgradation has happened or any support or any feature has been drawn back or something. So all these technical information what has been done in your anything like front-end server, back-end server. So this is the one place you have to look into what exactly it is referring, and if it's needed then you have your basis team basically, or if it comes to technical side then we have to also implement those configuration side. Basically mainly basis team do that, but if it's technical something, then I mean being a developer, ABAP or maybe Fiori or UI5 guys has to perform all this information, right? So you will also see here what are the front end components available, right? What are the software component of version, what is a prerequisite of for installation, right? So all these information is required, okay, and then it will needs to be implemented accordingly. So this information is also very important to keep in the handy, so that whenever if you face during some upgradation any issue, you should be having information like what are the product version you have used, what are the support package was there, what are the component version has been used. So this is somewhere this will help you in installation, what exact component you need to install, right? So that is one thing you need to do. Configuration side which we are talking about, this is very very important here. So this configuration side is actually way as a Fiori UI5 or OData, I mean ABAP you need to look into. So you see this is the technical name which is nothing but a BSP app name. If you have interacted with Fiori UI5, so every UI5 whenever you deploy in your gateway system, it go as a BSP package, right? So this is referred as your package BSP application name. So you can always find out. So if you if you go to any of your SAP system, you will be able to find out your I mean BSP app name. So this is referring your BSP app, which is nothing but deployed as your as a Fiori application UI5 component. Like I mean Fiori, what I'm saying, the front end in code, which is basically going to place there, okay? And then something you might have read as SICF, right? SICF is the T code where you have to go and activate some nodes there, right? So this is the place, this path will help you to activate your ICF nodes, okay? So why it's the activation needed? Because your this particular application is actually available in your SAP system, but it is not active, to use it, right? So this is the place where you have to come and activate those SCF nodes, and then it will be available or activate, so you can use it actually, right? So you have to activate your application. It's applicable to not only for UI5 but also applicable to OData services. You might have you of course not might have, you have done it, right? In the IWF and demand service, you go if you add any of the external service or any new service you are registering, you always activate the ICF nodes in the bottom, right? Or you can also activate under SICF transaction code also. You have to go and activate your data services. So something like that. So this information is very much important because this gives you the information of your code where it's actually present, right? And this component, what is this component information I will talk about. So this is very root, I would say, the foundation of your Fiori UI5. So this is the particular what pattern you see, right? cus.sd.sales order v2.manage is actually a unique name of any Fiori application to identify what it is referring to, right? If you see here, everyone having a different naming provided here, right? So this component this is something called this is actually called there is one file called component.js file, okay? And this is where we actually manage one system, I mean reference to your Fiori application. This is where we maintain some parameter, right? So this is one of the name we maintain here, like you if you are developing any customer, then we generally start with SAP dot, let's say TCS, SAP dot TCS dot sales order app, something like that, right? Similar way. So this is your unique identification of your Fiori UI5 application, and this unique name will be referred when you are going to deploy on your Launchpad application configuration, and that component is the responsible for invoking your Fiori apps when it's running actually. Okay, so the very first file which will run or invoke on Launchpad, if you are clicking on any application of Fiori apps, so it will actually first going to invoke your component.js file, which is actually referring to this your particular part. Okay, I will discuss about more in component.js file. We have one topic already mentioned there, and then so we have another file index.js file, but under JS not use in docs.html, sorry, which is actually used for locally when you are running as a web application. That time index file it utilize, but if you are deployed on Launchpad, then it doesn't need index.html file to be referred actually as a web application. Rather, it referred component.js file, whatever the ID we have maintained. Okay, now a particular app will have the information about your OData services, right? You have these are the two services which link to this application. You can see the version of it. You can also see what are the software component on it, right? And then these all information will be available, and you can able to see all this. You can basically go and find out in your SAP system if it is available, then add it. If it's not, if it's not, then add it. If it's present but it's not active, then activate it, right? Then you have to you may have to maintain system alias, you may have to capture in some TR, you may have to rectify the information, or if it's completely not available, then definitely you have to just go and add as a service. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, one quick question: how many of you have worked on SAP OData version 4, or have you worked only on OData V2?
Manu, we cannot tell you exactly, on these details because we have never checked on the component version level. And maybe these SRVs might be whatever we have built were on V4 group only. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, largely, if I would say, I would say like most of the, I think still in organization anywhere. So data version 2 is largely used. Version 4 is, I think, something is you getting utilized. Okay, in a very, I think this is actually a growing topic on data version 4, which has been some very strong feature, which is going to be a bit different than what we have in OData version 4, right? So if you see, all the SAP product is not, as of now, not compliant with OData version 4. Like, see, for example, you see OData version 2 having mostly this two of the services, but in OData service group, you see this is the one services which might have been combined all these two information, or probably something I cannot comment, but yeah. But the way of implementation, what OData service is version 2 and version 4 is quite different in technical terms. Also, the way it's used in Fiori UI5 development, right? So if you see OData having their own set of methods available in V2, which a Fiori UI5 developer refers that particular method. Let's say I have to make a get call. Okay, I have to make a post call, right? Update call, right? So there OData having a different method like get, dot put, update, delete, all this information. What are the payload I have to send? What are the batch call I have to, how we can make it, right? So these all information has been available for OData version 2 that used in a Fiori UI5 development. But OData version 4 having a little bit different way of, few methods are different. The way it is used and exposed as a service is a bit different. How it behaves technically in the background is different. So I think this is something which is going to come up now. I mean, OData by SAP, they are actually pushing all this development to OData version 4 because of its more powerful than version 2, but yeah, it's yet to be. I think it will take some more time. It's not going to directly override everything in V2. V2 will be there, nobody, but version 4, if you have some time, if you have any opportunity, then try to check that side also, is my personal opinion, because with a version 4 anyway it will come. It is already, see, it already started tagging in the all the SAP standard, at least they are started already tagging the standard version 4 actually. Okay, now you will see another information which is okay, this is the just a name. Another
Yeah,
information is very important.
Manu, basically on V2 version V2 and V4, we did not get the exact difference, because what you said is V2 is like on service level we have some methods which we kind of redefine and use it for our purpose, right?
Yep.
And what is there in V4?
Before, but that's why technical implementation could be a different approach. The way we handle, the way the methods are there, right? So that V2 V4 having a different uh, methods differentiation. So the way we call
Like
it, it will,
in V4 we'll not be having any DPC extension or MPC model provider classes and data provider classes.
no, I'm not saying that. You may have this all this information available. Being a web side, we are not covering more on that side. But
Mhm.
for your information, if you want to deep dive on OData side on V4, then you can also look at here. Okay, so we have something called OData V4 model. Okay, so if you
Okay.
go to this SAP SDK, you will find out, okay, what is all about your SAP data V4 data model, right? What are the samples is available, right? You will see here service consumption having a different, okay, you see this is a service consumption model. Okay,
Mhm.
how it comes. So in details you will find out here also in documentation. If you go
Mhm.
OData V4. Okay, so OData V4 is being a very different topic, and we are not mostly
Okay.
going to focus on that. But yeah, for your, I mean, if you are very curious to know about that, so this is something which you can find some information. It's very good information. I'm not saying. See, look for Fiori application development, how it's gonna work. It will be in the background will be a difference, but for the user interface, it's going to be the same. Okay, so you will find
Right.
all this information how it is going here, right? How data reuse happen. Okay, so what are the see mainly you will see here like what are the model instances and data, right? All these things. So it's not going to be completely different, but there will be definitely a certain difference you will find out. Like okay, so whatever path in syntax could be a different
Okay, this is
bindings.
more on technical part, so we'll go through all these.
This is a
Okay,
have
got it. Mhm.
audita. I mean, yeah, audita perspective of V4. I mean, side. So, I mean, I told you, but like V4 is not fully fledged, completely over taken, but it's
Mhm.
interested. You can deep dive. You will definitely find, like, see here you have annotation file, how you can actually add up, and you can compare. See changes compared to see here. You can find here what are the changes
Changes
compared to.
compared.
You
Okay,
will see
got
here, right?
it.
You see a binding parameters name me what are the difference has happened, right? So you will also mention the region why it's we they have changed it. Okay, the mode does not support methods get data get object. Yeah, these are the actually not supported in
Mhm.
actually, right?
Okay.
You have to go by the local model and do all these things, but V4 having certain different set of API which actually help on this thing. Okay, so this is
Okay,
the
so they
place I
have
think.
basically done away with the basic few couple of methods, which is not, I would say, more often used. Yeah.
Right. Maybe
Yeah.
let's see here. See how it's going to different by consuming OData V2 and version 4. See, you will see the difference. Consuming OData version 2 services with the OData version 4 model. So there will be a
Okay.
some difference
Yeah.
that of course you can deep dive and you can check. There will be the way see the expand method used to be something different in OData, right? Version 2, not
Right.
like that, right? This not something like that, right? Definitely. So this is where some syntax wise, some configuration wise, some rule wise could be different. It's going to be a little bit than V2. Of course, it cannot be same, right? Otherwise, it
Maybe
no.
the engine is more kind of
So it's
powerful
more
than
powerful
before. Yeah.
basically. It supports more methods, API supports
Yeah.
basically. V2
Okay.
was
Got it. Got it.
developed was more of like a web API, which actually is still bound to your S4. I mean any SAP system itself. But before is going to be more powerful to interact with your more than what OData version 2 used to do. Probably interacting with other API also. So that is something which is something OData version 4 has came up with. So yeah, of course, during as a technical website, you can definitely you should go and of course you can explore all these parts that you can. It can help you. I mean, long way for a version 4, but it's good if you are compliant and already ready for that change. Will help you in that way. All right. So this is another one which we have is target mapping, which we find here cells or I mean semantic object. Anyone know how what is semantic object by the way? Any idea? All right. So semantic
Yeah.
object is actually, it refers to some unique, name basically. That actually is a business. It actually refers to a business object uniquely, which actually going to perform something on that, right? So there's something called semantic action. Okay. So let's say if I'm doing semantic object name as sales order and semantic action is display. So it means for this particular semantic object, I have only display, action can be performed, right? Not other than something like I cannot perform some different action than had been predefined. Like display is something that I can see it. I cannot edit, but this sales order you see it having edit sales order version 2. So it means this particular semantic object will allow me to edit that business object. So this semantic object is referring to or uniquely identify a Fiori business object to perform some action on it. Okay, semantic object cannot be used without semantic action. That's remember. And a semantic object can be same, but the action has to be different. Like sales order can be display, sales order can be edit, sales order can be change, sales order can be manage sales order, something. So a same semantic object can be reused n number of times, but every time their action has to be different. Okay, so this is one thing. And then you see this is the parameter. Okay, I will talk about all this in more details when I'm doing configuration. So this parameter, I'm just telling you one information about that. So parameter is something which will use in your runtime. Okay, so for example, if you see this application which I have shown you, for example, okay, I think I have shown you in this sample smart table. So what parameter does is it will actually if you are setting some parameter in the right in your app Fiori tiles or configuration time, so basically what is going it runtime, that parameter is going to apply on that application. For example, this is some parameter value which technically you have set in the beginning. Okay, this particular Fiori I mean filter bar has to set with a some part filter value with default value is this one. Okay, similar way for this particular app I may have to set some parameter. This needs to be part of that value that needs to be passed. For a standard application, you are not doing any code, right? No, neither from the UI, neither from the backend, basically. So this how this value has came here. So it has actually handled by this information which has been set here. Like sales order should be greater than equal to sales order. You have to pass the value. Let's say for this example, if I have something like company code, so company code equal to 0001. So while I'm configuring this, I will just pass my value sales order. So I mean whatever information equal to this value or anything what I'm referring to. So whatever parameter value is actually going to be applicable during a runtime. Like if any setting you have done parameter side, so once the application is running, right, launching before displaying anything, it is actually going to check what if there any default value has been set for this. I'm talking about purely here about your standard application right now. Yes, for custom also we can set parameter value. Okay, so don't worry, during configuration I will talk about in details. So this is the place where actually going to interpret your runtime, and it will going to put that value, put that information back to the application, it will run accordingly. Okay, so that is something called your parameter value. Okay, now this is the something called technical catalog. Okay, so see, technical catalog is which is referring here your this particular Fiori application present in which SAP standard technical catalog. I told you, right, that a technical catalog can have n number of whatever you see application. So in, let's say, you will see, have you seen Fiori designer, anybody? Fiori, I mean Fiori Launchpad designer.
No,
Okay.
man.
Okay, so Fiori, okay, so Fiori designer, right? Fiori Launchpad designer is the one place where basically you are going to configure your Fiori apps, the catalog. Okay, groups and whatever the we talk about here, information what is available, all the configuration activity we do where we do in Fiori Launchpad designer. Okay, so Fiori Launchpad designer itself, SAP has put all their technical catalog and business catalog reference over there, so that you can go and search in this particular catalog and get the reference of this standard Fiori app. Because see, if you are going to directly use this now, see, this is actually going to has been used in many places. But for this SD common, you see, right, the name itself is common, means it particular catalog might have reference to 100 of application. But as per your need, what you need only manage sales order out of this technical catalog, right? This is where SAP recommend कि if you want to use it, then yes, you can go in this particular technical catalog, get the reference of this standard Fiori apps, and then you configure back in your system, so that out of this you are only taking one, you are not taking all of them. So you take only whatever you need out of this. But of course, in some organization, maybe, okay, all of the apps whatever is present can't be applicable. Okay, you can happily you can take it, but you cannot be able to modify anything. But if you are making your own, then you should be able to customize a little bit. Okay, so basically technical catalog. Well, okay, so there will be a one question maybe in both of, I mean probably, what is the difference between technical catalog and business catalog, right? So okay, see, so technical catalog is the one catalog which I told you, right? It has all the SAP standard Fiori apps present over there that a customer can go and have a reference and then do it, right? But at the same time, a business, it means what? It means a technical catalog cannot be modified or assigned directly to the user, right? Region. I just now I told you, if you remember, if anybody remember why I told technical catalog should not be assigned to should not be used or assigned to a particular business user. The reason being, it can be connected to a n number of application. A business user may need only few application access, right? So this is where technical catalog has been maintained only to be reference of your Fiori application present there. Is not meant to be assigned directly to any of the rules or basically the user assignment or anything to be done. Okay, that's the one thing. Business catalog is actually, contains, okay, this business catalog which I was talking about here, right? Business catalog. Okay, this catalog is actually, see, this is also a catalog. If you see here, what we have here, this is the common catalog which presents here, but business catalog is mainly referred to a collection of your target mapping, like of, let's say you have this right, managed sales order information over there, right? So managed sales order having this target information, right? We have a sales order, all the information available, right? How many semantic object we have, what are the parameters we have, semantic object we have, all the information you can also get from here. For a particular app, you have to search and get the mapping. But a particular to that, this business catalog will also provide you the information which actually contains, some target mapping information, right? Some relevance to some particular business role information about the your launchpad tiles, everything. So this is being little bit simplified version of your technical catalog, and this is technical catalog is going to being a big version of your all container of your standard application. Business catalog being a little bit simplified version of your technical catalog, where you will find the relevant information of a particular business role of your whatever your target mapping information. So what we refer, but in actual may, if you refer technical catalog, there also you will find all these information what are relevant to you. Only thing you will be not be able to find out, you should not be able to map to the business roles or user. Business catalog may generally, if you want to refer, you can refer, you will find the same information which actually also available in technical catalog. But I mean, I told you this is the place where you have a limited information, but here you have every information, right? Kind of things. Again, same thing. This also cannot be, okay, and this relevant to a business role, but generally we don't assign this also to a particular business role. Rather, we go by a custom role assignment. Similar way, group, right? Group is what we talk about. So this group can have multiple technical group assigned. One could be common, one could be n number of technical catalog, right? One technical catalog having multiple application. So means a business group can have 1,000 of application, right? Thousands of application, hundreds of application. But what you need only few of them. So you referred it in this catalog in the group, what information of your standard application is available, and then make use of it and create a reference object. Okay, how to create a reference and all these things, I will definitely will show you how you can create a reference catalog, how you can create a reference business group, and all this thing and stuff we will be discussing in that part. So this is the way it will give you information about the group. But I told you none of the standard, generally in general or in organization, we generally just take it for reference. We don't directly map it, we don't directly use it. Reason being the roles authorization and mapping. Otherwise, if you directly use it, it will have a lot of information available which you don't require to provide to your business user. All right. So these are the information. The similar way, you have the roles list here, all the what are the roles are available. So see, either you can use the same role, but as told already, standard one we generally avoid until unless is very much needed. Best is you have your own custom role and you can provide it. Okay. Now, extensibility we talk about, like if any application supports your extensibility, means enhancement, right? Let's say you have your managed sales order, but as per your business need, you need to modify your, could be your business logic in the backend, or could be your in the UI front end, right? You need to place some button, you need to enhance some usability of users, you want to hide some additional button which was present and you want to put something else. All this thing can be done or not has to be verified under this section. Okay, so if you see here, they have provided you the link, extensible documentation for this app. So this will open one SAP help document where it will talk about your managed sales order version. What are the things you can actually customize? What are the things actually you can enhance it? So see, this is where it is saying these are your custom fields, right? So under this, what this Fiori means, they are mostly talking about what you need to do in your UI side. Okay, so like see, navigation path, what you can do, right? Like UI element fields and field group, what you can modify. Fields means the area where you want to modify some changes. Group means you might have seen the section, right, which have a content lot many information available. That is something referring to fields and field group. So these are the place you can make some changes. Items level pick, yeah, like say you have sales document item in the table, which is basically referring to the item. Basically what I mean to say is that this is being referred as an item. So when I talk about item, so what are things you can do? So item details me, you can do what? General information you can modify, probably you can provide the delivery date, you can change prices, you can do, right, modify something. So these are the things which you actually do some kind of customization. Okay, so in Fiori UI5 side, generally it comes as a something terminology known as extension point. Okay, so every in the controller, sorry, in the view file, in XML file, you will find out it is mentioned there, there's an extension point has been enabled. So those extension point you can put your additional changes and you can perform it. If it's not listed here, then you cannot be able to modify. There are a few standard applications which is actually not allowed to modify. This restriction generally comes in your analytical business application apps, because these are highly data interpreter apps and generally not advised to modify. So there are very limitations, extensibility, especially in analytical side or KPI fact set application. But yeah, wherever it is applicable, you will always find out here. Now see, what are the additional standard fields you can find? You can find here custom fields, adding extension field on app with UI technology, right? So whatever information available, you have to refer here and you can check that. Okay, now what you can do in your backend side. Okay, so this is your one of the data source, maybe you're referring to some kind of entity set, then you can check what are the things you can modify under that, right? So you can also make changes in your backend table, sorry, I mean backend services, like any information to be put in your header side. Basically this is referring to your CDS modeling or annotation modeling. These are the entity set they are referring, and these are the information like in the probably a header section or the item label you can modify or not. Those all information actually provided here. If you are not provided here, then you should not be able to do any modification. Okay, so generally extensibility means modification or customization of your existing SAP application, how much you can do, like how much it will allow you to do that. That information you will be actually showing up in this area. Okay, and then of course support means like this will basically will tell you, right, what are the component. You basically this information will help you to search some issue logs, like when you are searching, okay, this application component having this issue and all this thing, or probably you are uh, raising a OSS notes to SAP, you can also refer this application component so they can actually find out what are the information available, right? So this is the how you can come and find the complete information about your standard application. There one more section called related apps here, right? It means what? It means, see what it belongs to. It belongs to sales business, right? It means what are the other application is related to this application, right? Related means application can be linked to each other, right? We have something called navigation application, like you see here navigation target, like something, some application can be linked to each other, right? So do you, any of one of you know what is cross app navigation or probably external app navigation? Have you ever seen and worked on such scenario? Anyone?
Yeah, workflows. Yeah. When do you use workflows in SAP?
In workflows, okay. All right. Okay. So external app navigation, basically, this is the one of the place where you see, for example, let's say I have this application, right? If I click here, I want to go to another app. Let's say I want to go to this app. Just consider this is the one of the app. Okay. So these two apps actually are interlinked to each other. Okay. So those information not exact, it doesn't mean related apps is actually, supports all of the related apps to this navigation apps. This see related apps means the application which belongs to your particular business lines. Okay, like for example sales. So what are the application which actually comes under similar line of business? So these are the things which comes under the same line of business. Now out of these applications, some of them may support your app navigation. Let's say for example, this is navigation, one of the examples, sales volume check upon status, right? So if you configure back again, so now for making this navigation target, you have to again reconfigure this app component in the Fiori Launchpad. I will talk about in later stage how you can configure the external app navigation for even a standard application. Okay, so this is where these places we will be talking about, and we will be configuring one app to second app to third app. Matlab you can go to n number of apps. Actually you can link each other. You don't have to redevelop all these applications, rather you can attach to each other. Okay, so there are possibility there are, we will talk about in the later stage when we are talking about application configuration stuff. Okay, so this is the one of the, I mean, I think I have covered one of the area where you can come and talk about and see what are the information available your particular Fiori apps which we are planning to probably configure it, or basically I would say you want to explore more about on the extensibility side, or the possibility of how you can configure all the information you can find out over there. Okay. Now see again, I think we discussed already about what is business catalog groups means, like the roles, how it's going to be defined. Semantic object I have already referred, right? So it's basically a particular your business object which is referring to your action to be done, and this is what semantic object and action referring to that. Okay, performance to be performance semantic object, I mean something what you want to do. So I think we have already covered this part. Now so this design guideline principle is something which we also highlighted in the beginning of the our discussion. Like of course it's a role based, like of course Fiori apps which is assigned to me, but not anybody want to, only I can be able to see out of 100 users, but there is a possibility that probably 100 users can see, I cannot see. So it's very much controlled in your role-based application approach, where a role attached to a particular application catalog to the group and to the user. If any of these three mapping is not there, then it will not work. And of course, authorization comes when you are performing some action on the OData service, then authorization has to be also assigned back. Responsiveness we already talked about. We have shown you the example as well, how what is the responsiveness means. Okay, simple why it means simple is that, see for example a business user kya karna hai. So for example, let's say I have taken this right application, I have the access, I want to perform something. Okay, I want to search some data. Okay, I want to see some data. Let's say I want to edit something. Okay, I want to create something, I want to display something. I'm just saying some example. Okay, could be some different button here, and I want to do it my job. That's it, right? So it makes a business user to perform their work very simple, rather it's going to SAP system and do some transaction T code here and there, and then they perform their job, right? It makes very easy and simple for a business user to perform their task. So that's why it's very simple. The layout you see, it's not complex. See, SAP ka tagline, if you have seen that, right? What does that mean? Run simple. Okay, you have seen that. Okay, if you have seen the SAP tagline in the SAP office or probably in SAP transport bus also, you will see run simple. Even if you see here Google, right? Google is being so largely used, right? See, so simple. It's just a Google log. I see just whatever here, everything mentioned there. You just search and you go there. That's it. You go to Gmail. What you have to do? You have to check your email inbox, compose your mail, and everything. You can check it, right? So make it simple. This is what the fundamental is. Like you are making the interface for the user is complex. No, it's not good actually. It's a bad assumption that see this UI layout looks so complex. How complex design it would be in the behind. No. It's wrong. User always needs a very simple user interface. Don't complicate it. Okay, so this is one of the biggest example of Google you can take, right? Even if you have interacted with ChatGPT, right? It just have a chat, that's nothing else, right? So interface should be not complex. What you need to do should not be complex. It should be very simple. You should love to do that, right? You should not be irritated. Oh, I have to do 10 steps of this and perform my task. This is like you will get irritated, but very simple. You don't hesitate to do multiple times, right? Okay, I have to just click my app. Okay, I will go and select my record. I have to perform this. I have approve, reject, create, delete, whatever. I'm just saying about the action, but it's simple to use, right? Seamless experience, which I discussed earlier also. Like every application, what you see in Fiori, if it has been built, let's say this is a list report, right? So you name any application. Okay, if it's comes under list report, then the look and feel of the application will be 100% same, unless you have not customized. What I mean to say that this particular section of filter has to be there. This particular table layout has to be there. View setting dialog should be there. This export should be feature will be there. Okay, this comes variant management option has to be there, right? Now additional button may vary. See, these buttons may come, right? These are the buttons may come based on the application wise. Let's say in HR portal, I need some additional button, right? Be it a list report, but I need some additional button, right? But for this, let's say this particular application, I don't need additional button. So that is fine. That is the additional customization part here. But let's talk about the layout design part. It's going to be 100% same.
Okay, so this is where SAP, fundamental is that it should be seamless experience. Like you should not be having, okay, I'm seeing this application A, it looks different, and I'm seeing application B, it looks different. It will looks different only if you have a difference in your the way you have built and customized your application. For example, if I have managed products, right, and if I comparing with this, these two are different, right? Why? Because this is a completely a custom apps. You can design and develop similar to this also, that's fine, but these right now what you see here, these are two different set of application type, which one part definitely same, which is table, you can see that, but header is not different, right? Header is different completely, not same, right? So it depends on how you have developed your and customized your application. But in general, what SAP recommend, you should have a seamless experience. Let's say you have built 10 applications of same type, right? You have done for managed products, you have managed timesheet, okay, you have managed sales order, same design, okay, no problem. Then means what? You are following the seamless design pattern across the application. That's great. There's no problem. You can either maintain the same template design for the rest of the app. If it's matching the requirement, you should follow that. If not, then you have to have this pattern, then you follow the across seamless design. So SAP recommend, that's why we also have something called SAP Fiori design guidelines. Okay, you will come here, then you will see here there are a lot of rules and set has been defined here. Okay, so these are the guidelines for web, iOS dev, Android development. This both, I mean this both right now you can ignore, because this is more of like a specific to your app wise. See, you have seen Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, right? So these are the application has built on Android with the same feature, or if you run in the website will be a different, right? So what I mean to say, like, I mean platform wise, so this is dedicated to platform Android, this is dedicated to iOS, and this is the general web application which you can run in any of the web of any of the device, right? So follow this web guideline until it's not as specific to your platform iOS and all. Then here you will see, okay, get started, you will see the basic principle behind the SAP Fiori. You will what are the design guidelines we have, right? It will deep dive what are the advantage, okay, what are the what's new version and all this thing, what's okay. So this will give you overview why we need this Fiori design guidelines. And then when you come back to the actual mode stand for explore. Okay, here you will see here list of various control they have defined. Okay, key means, let's say if you are using action list item, how it should be, or when you have to consider, right? Let's say if I have something this, right, for example, you see this one of the analytical apps, right? This is analytical card, right? This is an analytical list page. See, this analytical list page is different than this list report page, right? So it depends like which area you are referring, right? If you have analytical apps, so all the apps which is coming under analytical apps will have the same look and feel. But whichever app which comes under list report will have this look and feel. Whichever comes under probably this kind of layout, a customization report could have been this report. Okay, this layout to be followed. So it depends on completely. SAP has given the guidelines. So if you are following the guidelines, no, then you should be aligned with their principle, and then you will not be going to face or any complaint from the business user. Okay, this look different, this look different. No, it's not like that. We have to be, as long as we are aligned with your business. So if your design guidelines, so your application will be stable, will having less error or issues coming forward. Okay, so these are the lots of information available. I mean, if you click on that, you will always see, okay, why we need to BG dialog, why we need to BG indicator, what's the difference between them, when to use, when to not. Okay, so BG state, right? So all information available. So this is also another one place which I recommend you to go, and of course you should see that when you are developing any application. Especially this is useful when you are doing a custom development. If you are using a template wise, then probably you will not have much complexity. But if you are using a scratch or custom development, then you should refer, like you have floor plans information, you have page layout, how it should be, right? I told you, right, the page, how it looks like, right? For example, this example, uh, okay, sorry, got, okay, so this is page one of the page design, right? This is the another page design, right? How it's going to look like. So you have something dynamic page, compromise version, flexible column layout. Okay, so I will be definitely will be talking about in more of in details. Right now I'm just showing you up how it's going to be. These are the UI element, again is the same thing, which here so all means it has every information. Okay, combining all three, or you can just segregate, filter out, and find out. Elements means the control which you are going to use. So it will talk about, okay, so this control, when to use, how to use, and when you should not use. Okay, so they are given every information. Let's say for example you have a drop down, right? In a drop down we have a multiple uh, option available. We have a select, we have a combo box, we have a multi combo box, we have a value help. So when to use select, when to use combo box, when to use multi combo box, when to use value help. So there's a condition. Okay, cool. When you have this number of record, you use select. You have exceeding this number of record from this to this range, use comma box. Or feature wise, if you want to select multiple record, then use multi comma box. If you want, you have a large number of data to display as a drop down, but it cannot become inside drop down. It has to be as a value help dialog. Okay, because it contains a lot of data, so it has to be a, it's the same, I mean, referring to the same feature, which is nothing but selection or data. So, but different control has been given to use as per the need of your need of your application, based on what it supports, based on needs, the requirements, the feature wise, the data wise, everything has been mentioned here. So it's very good place. If you want deep dive, I will recommend, definitely you should go and check that. Okay, delightful. Okay, one more thing I have to mention, seamless experience. Why it also comes, because of all the application is going to build on top of your SAP UI5 framework, right? So if you have a framework same, definitely which look and feel and performance will be the same, right? So that seamless experience will be there. Okay, delightful is like, again, a user interaction. Basically, if you are performing your tasks without any complexity, it's always good. You will always feel good. I mean, how it has to be performed, how it has to be. You will be always right, based on your interaction with the application, you will always feel good, I mean, to performing your task, right? Platform. So we talk about design principle, I mean, that's fine. I mean, this is the same again, about the principle we talk about. Okay, now history of SAP Fiori app, just one of the slide which we have mentioned, we discussed. So this is how, like a typical our SAP system looks like, right? If you go to ACC system, is again more in fact lengthier than the S4 what we have, right? So this is the place where basically user has to come, business user, and they is to perform their task, right? You see a number of navigation, I mean, basically the folders, the T code, they have to execute and perform all these actions. Rather, now this has been converted back into a tiles of the application. They just have to perform same task, but in a different way, and on the Azure application running in their device. It could be any device from anywhere, right? So this is just a small thing. Okay, so now advantage, I think whatever we discussed about so far is more of advantage, right? So of course the interface is one of the things, like it will ease your work basically, and you cannot be restricted to a particular device or anything. You should be able to perform anywhere, anything, right? Design principle is going to be the same standard, and of course the look and feature wise, if you compare, in fact, any web apps, if you see nowadays is running, right? So I'm not endorsing those the things actually in terms of web application, but if you compare the design principle and guidelines, SAP Fiori, especially in element side, having a very stable design principle, okay, than what we see. You might have seen that very if you go to restaurant, they have various web browser based, they have some billing application running, right? They might have been built on JavaScript or HTML5 or any other JS library, could be Angular, could be React and all, right? So they always have a, advantage is that they can keep customizing based on their needs, right? So same application is used by one of the restaurant, restaurant A, and same application restaurant B is using, their layout and design will be different there. You know why? Because they are not seamless design pattern, though they are using the same framework, but they have customized in such a way that they are having a two different interface and interaction, right? Could be based on the requirement what probably they have given accordingly. But in SAP, at least as per the line business, they maintain the same. So user, any line of business, if they are performing something, they should not be they should not be trained again. Okay, this is how it's work. They should know, oh, this is the filter bar, okay, this is the table, I have to filter it, okay, this is the export button, okay, this is the personalization button. So these things will be available, and the seamless experience is very important for the business user, right? So this is where is the something design principle has very good role has been played in terms of interface, productivity, whatever we can say. Okay, now we have a login page. Yeah, this is the one typical login page which you will see. Of course, when we are going to run our application, we will be showing you up like when you configure. So this is the one place which generally you have your comes the first page as a login page, but many of the organization already have their SSO login. You might be remembering. So SSO login, if you have already enabled, then you may not have to, log in separately. It will actually generally directly open. But in general, this is the one of the login page. You see how simple it is, right? What you need to do, no complexity, no any instruction, click here and go there, then user, then password, then select language, then log on, then no, it's very simple, right? What you need to do is clearly mentioned. So this is where we SAP endorse, okay, you should focus on what is to be done by the user rather making it complex. So run simple, that's the very simple. In behind whatever technology is going, that's fine, but business users should not feel complexity. That's the home, that's the panda. Okay, this is the home page in the sense like I told you, a particular launchpad. See, what is launchpad? Basically launchpad is a container. Okay, the container where n number of Fiori apps can be hosted. So launchpad, if you see now, it's actually itself is an application. Okay, so launchpad is having a different set of feature, right? You can see I have shown you one of the example here, right? You see this is the user icon, right? It has a lot of like settings, home, right? App finder feature, right? You can customize your this is the just a sample picture, but if you see the real one, you will have a lot of other feature also, right? Whatever you see on the top, this name, these are actually a group. It's referring to a group. Okay, and whatever you see these three under this group, what we have here, this is referring to a catalog, basically a catalog having these three apps. So this group having one of the catalog map, under that catalog we have these three applications. So you will not see catalog name here in the Fiori Launchpad. You will see only the group name. Catalog will be visible only when you are doing an app finder. Okay, there it will be showing you the catalog name. Under that catalog, how many apps are there. But generally, when you are interacting with, when you are opening the Fiori Launchpad, you will be having just a name of the groups and the application available inside that group, which is nothing but referring to your catalog, which catalog having these many apps. Okay, so you can search here your also application in the search bar. You can just search by name like my inbox or create document, something. It will directly give you also, or you can go by your grouping. You have also option in your drop down. You vertically, you can vertically from, you can also drag and select your group or application actually. And if you go horizontally here, you can select directly the group, and from here you can select the app. Okay, so there are a lot of feature available in your launchpad. What we talk about, remember about the variant management. Okay, so variant management only works on your launchpad. It doesn't work when you run as a web app. Web app in the sense like, I mean, you run as an index.html file, it will not support. It has to be run via launchpad. So even in any browser, if you're running application, if I'm telling you to run in any device, so of course the launchpad should be your launchpad URL. Rather, application UI. It will be always your Launchpad URL, and based on your role, you will be seeing those applications only. Okay, so variant management will be going to work in your Launchpad application. During development also, we have SAP has provided in your web ID or bash something called a preview application in Launchpad mode. There you can also test all these things, but in real scenario it will be actually working on your Launchpad stuff. That will give you the better clarity. Okay, this is about your Launchpad stuff. And yeah, I mean, we already talked
Manu,
about.
I have a small question, Manu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talked about this cross application talking. So in this, can we have two different applications from different catalog or group talking to each other?
Yes. So the
Okay.
application has to be hosted on the same Launchpad. Okay, like say for example, I have this one of the Launchpad. My one application is here and another application is here, message monitoring. Okay, so I can jump from here to directly here. Yes, this is possible, but the only condition is the application has to be active, has to be hosted on the same Launchpad. It could be any group, it could be any catalog, and yes, roles has to be also mapped, right? For example, if you don't have the roles for this particular group or catalog application to access, so when you navigating now, it will throw you the error, the roles. And you remember I was opening one of the app here, demo somewhere I was opening, right? Here. So demo apps may I was opening this. So generally in SAP Launchpad pay, you will be getting such kind of error you see here, right? So it's saying that I mean, it will show you something information like you may not, it could be
like in navigation, some error in navigation. Okay.
Something cannot be loaded. They will also, I mean, see, you have to, of course we have to deep dive what is the issue is causing, but generally if such thing is coming, there are two issues. Okay, one is could be a configuration mismatch, or could be a role you don't have it. In any of the scenario, it will just show it could not be loaded. Okay, so that kind of error you will face. So that has to be taken care. Okay, so that will be, yes, I mean, you can do that kind of things. Okay, now in terms of capabilities, I mean, we already discussed all this, what it can be done. I mean, I think we already discussed all this, the extensibility. Okay, integration is like, I mean, I told you, right, you can in SAP system may nowadays, basically if you want to integrate, basically it comes under the integration side. Like, of course, yes, if you have any standard SAP API or any third-party Java application or a Salesforce API, right, you want to integrate in the backend system, yes, you can, of course, you can integrate that. You will be, I mean, any of them more, probably you might have using is some integration of your API. So that basically comes under mode of backend type side. Okay. We talk about search filter. We have, okay, one is manage, okay, multi-language support. This is one of the best feature, I would say. Like any application, let's say if somebody using here, right, in India, having seeing the application in English language, right, let's say someone wants to use in China, their browser language is Chinese language. They want to see all the information in Chinese language, right? So yes, SAP UI5 Fiori also provide that feature. That setting you have to, of course, we have to enable. We have to maintain that file in your application folder, application file folder. There's one file called i@en.properties, and then dot with respect to which language, that let dot en stand for English, okay, dot dsu stand for different language. So similar way, you have to dot with the whatever code of that language is maintained, and then you have to maintain the description, all the text what you have maintained in that file in that particular language. So it will automatically detect the browser language. It will start displaying you that particular thing. Okay, so yes, SAP Fiori, it supports multiple language based on whenever you launch in any of the language, but only condition is you have to make sure you have enabled and configured it for that language support. That we have to do it. Standard may generally it comes with pre-built, but in case of custom, if you are doing it, we have to one time you have to configure and enable that configuration in your project file. Okay.
So are we going to cover this, Manu? Are we going to cover this translation
yes.
on activity level in our upcoming sessions?
Yes. We will be covering. We will be covering deep dive into your UI5 Fiori development. What you see as a Fiori is, right, a set of standard application, which what is all about SAP Fiori, right? But actual development begins in UI5. Okay, so how UI5 will help you to develop a Fiori, right? So we have two set of we will be covering up probably. One is a scratch development with UI5, one with serious annotation, and on top of serious annotation, if you are making modification, how you can modify with UI5 language. Okay, so yes, we will be covering as much as topic we have. Don't worry, I will be covering maximum of it. Okay. Okay, all now one more thing, like you will see here. Okay, this is the cloud platform that cloud platform means right nowadays we have BTP. Earlier version we used to know SAP Cloud Platform Neo version. Now we have BTP Cloud Foundry version. So yes, you can run in your either in your on-premise system, or you can run either in your cloud system. It's having a seamless experience. Theming and branding stands for, like suppose example, let's say I have this Launchpad. I want to put here logo, not SAP. I want to put here TCS logo. Okay, let's say I want to put this theme design as a green color. It depends on the how customer is asking for. So of course you can rebrand it, retheme it. Basically you can change the theme and branding, custom logo. It supports all, it supports. Okay, so you don't have to worry about okay, SAP has given this blank Launchpad, I will be over this plain blanks. No, you have all the controls. You can customize, you can change the logo, add any logic, add any kind of theming. It's all good. Advanced tools means if they are talking about development tools, I think it's fine. Okay, and have you any used which tool basically any one of you have used for Fiori UI5 development? Web ID, BAS, or anything? Any idea? Any one of you have used anything? Because without this tool, you will not be able to develop basically. If you have not interacted with Web ID, you don't know what is Web ID, then it's very difficult for you to develop that, because all the development start here, Web IDE, or now, in BTP, it's known as a business application studio, BAS. I think after my discussion, probably server stream will reach you guys and provide you all this, access to BAS. So just a quick information, probably we'll see how good you are. If you are comfortable with Web ID, we will do in the Web ID. If you are comfortable with BAS, we'll do in the BAS. But this Web ID is more of restricted to SAP development. BAS is more of like advanced and open to SAP development plus open source development. Okay, so this is a tool where we develop Fiori apps and we deploy, and be it Web ID, be it Business Application Studio, that we use for app development. All right. Okay, so yeah, mobile app development, you remember I have shown you that there is something called iOS and Android. If you remember, I was talking about here in that session, we talk about, right, those things which we had already covered. So those areas which mainly talk about your what are the, you can develop for iOS, you can develop for Android, so it supports that as well. Okay, so like that personalization we talk about, like what you saw this right, remember I was talking about here, probably one of the application which I was talking about was what was that, a smart table, remember, personalization, which is nothing but variant management, right? So this is also one of the feature comes under personalization, because you are customizing your layout based on your need, right? So this is you are customizing, so you, of course, everyone can personalize their layout how they want to see, not only on the app but also on the Launchpad, right? You want to see different theme, you go and change the theme from here. You want to see only n number of app finders, say whatever application you want to set, you set use for. So you can very much personalize. Security and compliance, of course, is very much we discussed about, is very much linked to your mapping to the roles which has been security team defined, which we get. The roles will be assigned to a catalog, to your group, and then to your user ID. So if any of the part is missing, it will not work. Not only roles, it also comes with authorization, is an additional layer of security. So if somebody having only display action, they should not be able to change anything, right? Only those which having a edit action authorization available, then only they can do that. So it's very much, I mean, security perspective also, Fiori has very much controlled way that if somebody doesn't have the role authorization, they cannot do anything, right? And if they don't have role at all, they will see anything at all, right? So yeah, so I think we have, I mean, covered most of the things which we have talk about your, I mean, Fiori UI5. Basically, I was the more of today text session was on introduction part, what is all about Fiori, right? And what are the other feature wise, parameters, terminology, and of course, I have shown you a few of the examples standard wise as of now. And remaining topics, of course, we will go one by one, that we will be covering up all this session. So from tomorrow, we will be again covering up one of the topic, which will be more of starting with architecture diagram, basically how Fiori apps works architecture wise, types of application, what we are going to have, like transactional, analytical, fact set, all these things will be discussed theoretically first, and then I will be covering those apps development during when we start our UI5 development, because what my plan is to go with the steps which involve in the from the beginning. Okay, so today, like we introduced what is the terminology used in Fiori and what is all about Fiori, right? So for tomorrow, let's say we'll talk about architecture pattern, what we have, how it works actually, and then what are the types of application we have, and then we will start with your development journey. In that development journey, we will be covering a lot of other topic, which will become with your UI5 development, your Fiori apps deployment, configuration, various controls which you see here, like filter bar, smart filter, smart table. You see there are a lot of, right? You will see these are the temple, right? So of course, we are not going to use all of controls for sure, but we will be showing you up how you can use those controls, how you can come here and check that control, how it works, what are the API reference means, that what information you can find here, and how it will be useful in your development. Those things I will be covering up. Okay, so don't worry, from I think tomorrow, today, and then tomorrow we have for more details, and we will start with our development activity also. From tomorrow we will try to start if we time permits, and then definitely from date after tomorrow, from Wednesday session, we will be having a full-fledged development. And every day after the when we have a session with show and tell session, you will be having, I will be providing you one homework, basically that you have to do some kind of assessment activity, and those assessment activity has to be performed by you, and that you can discuss in the next session again. We will be having a half an hour session for that session, what assessment we have given. If anybody has faced some issue, we can discuss about that, or if anything needs to be clarified again based on the previous topic, we will be covering all of them. Okay, so uh, just keep yourself ready. Whatever information I have told you, I recommend you should also start with. I will put some of the link in your chat box right now. You please refer those things and try to come up. So I would say that will be your assessment, because this is more of like I mean, there's nothing much to do in your practical side. It's more of theoretical side, but definitely I would like you to go to the documentation site. Okay, something called this. You can refer it for sure, and in that case, if you are having any issue, so I would suggest you should definitely go and check all these URLs. Okay, so I think this information further will be shared by you all. So no worries. So whatever information we have shared with you, like web access wise, what you need to go and check it, I mean, he will share with you. No worries. Okay. So I think we have covered the topic. I think any question we have, we can take up. So any question, guys? I hope use first
Uh,
introduction. I think is what I mean. If you have any question, then please feel free to ask me.
yeah,
It's very, yeah. Tell me.
yeah. Hi, Manu. Abhishek here. Manu, just wanted to ask one thing. Going forward, whatever the development we are going to do from the scratch, like as you talk about UI5 and all those things. So mostly we guys would prefer if it would be on BAS. Like we don't want to do it in Web's UI. So how we are going?
Yes, yes. This is
forward?
what I mean, we have one tech support team here,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a server team already. So they will be providing you all this information,
Mm-hmm.
how you can access. So we already have a BTP account setup available.
Okay, okay, okay.
We have a business application studio already available. We have a Launchpad service already available. So don't worry. What we need additionally, one more thing from all of
Mm.
you. Please quickly tell me, do you have BTP or any SAP cloud platform, probably preferably BTP trial account at least? Then
Uh,
please go and
Yeah,
create a trial account. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, Manu, I have it.
Okay, great. So, okay, I will just share my screen once again and I will show you what exactly you can do. So, for example, let's say you go here, okay, SAP BTP, just search SAP BTP trial, okay, and account setup or login, whatever, okay. So you can cockpit sign in here, okay. You come here and then here it will show you. If you have a sign in again, it will show you sign in again. Otherwise, best way, let's say you can get a free account SAP tutorials, okay. Follow this blog, okay, and you will be finding out you have to register yourself, activate your account. So this is the link, okay. This is the link also I will share with JanTech. Nitin, he will share with you. So if you see here, okay, go to sap.com, okay, then you in the next section you will see, if you are registered already, like some of you already have it, you can just log in. So if you log in, right, so you will be going to see this one P user ID will be created, P user. So that P user you have to provide and your email ID what you have linked. So your email ID, it could be your personal, it could be your organization, it's up to you. But I think if you are trial, then basically you should have your, I would suggest personal, but anyway, okay. So once you registered, done with your SAP, then you will see activate your account, okay. So you will have option here to finalize your account, basically activate your account. You will get one link in your Gmail ID and you have to activate. Then again you can log on. Once you log on, then you have to verify, well, as per your, I told you, it could be your phone number, it will come some OTP, or they could see here, verify your phone number, something, or it could be your mail ID, something will come, code you have to do. And then once you done with the trial account, and everyone choose US, okay, US EU, EU as your hosting, AWS US. You will see always like that, okay. So now you will have, it will ask you to enter into your, you see here, right? You select US East, okay. Don't select Single because it's Azure. We will be mostly going to talk about AWS side. So US East, you should choose the region, okay. And this is where you will see once your account gets created, this information will get here like that. And then your account will be created. On the top itself, you will see one icon of user, okay. There you will find out what is your P user ID name, what is your email ID name. So this P user and email ID, you please forward them, so that, I mean, they can add you in our existing BTP sub account. So you will be not, I mean, you may practice in your trial account also, for your learning purpose. But apart from that, we are going to give you access in our, basically in BTP landscape, where we are going to actually do all the development, all this stuff, okay. So we just need up to here, you create your stuff, okay. Then it will give you some particular P user ID and email ID. So that also you need to share. So all these information, I will also pass this blog, to Nitin, and I think all this required information he may share with you. And it will be great if you guys can send this information by today, update the sheet, and probably whatever you get the email from the Nitin or anybody from ZaranTech, please share those details, because that is very much required to give you the access in our BTP landscape. Okay. Okay. All right then, Nitin. Thank you everyone for
Thank
your
you for the
time.
session.
Yeah, so I will take a leave. So thank you everyone for your valuable time. Anyone, any question have, still we can ask, no problem. And if not, then see you tomorrow, with the new topic, and probably going to be more interactive, I hope. Okay, any question
Yeah.
from me, my side?
No, Manu, I think we are good on this. And thank you so much
Yeah,
for
okay,
today's
Vinita.
session. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your
Thanks.
time. Also, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.